Pennsylvania United. It's opening night of high school football season, the big opening to fall, although it doesn't feel like fall. It's pretty hot here tonight at York Suburban High School. Welcome to the East Pennsboro versus York Suburban matchup here in the nightcap of the York Rose Bowl here in the city of York. This broadcast proudly being sponsored by the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, Jack Giambalvo Family of Dealerships, and F&M Bank. High School Sports Live is excited to be teaming up with Football Frenzy and Fox Sports, led by Todd Sadowski. This will be the first of 11 games this season we'll have on High School Sports Live. Welcome to our Capital Blue Cross pregame show. Gary Sutton alongside Bill Chase, the coach, and great opening night here, great opening night game. East Pennsboro, a team that comes in here tonight ready to represent the Mid-Penn Conference, the capital part of that. And Keith Oates is the guy that we're looking at here tonight, Bill, as we get ready for this one.
Yes, he's been the quarterback. He's been with the program for 4 years, and he hasn't always been the full-time starter, but he threw for over 1,000 yards last year, and I think they're really counting on him.
You talk about this team tonight, a team that has a lot of four-year starters. They've been building for this for a while. Their team has lost some tough games last year, but they've got a lot of maturity.
Well, head coach John Dennison has been there 4 years, so he should know the kids pretty well. Despite that, there are going to be a lot of mistakes tonight because it is a first game and you don't have the two scrimmages anymore.
Mikey Bettavania was the guy who was all everything here at York Suburban last year. He's now at Duquesne University, and they're going to find out tonight what they're made of, and they start with their quarterback, Rylan Bratton. Talk a little bit about him.
Bratton threw for over 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns. I think they are going to count on him. I'm not sure what the receiving core is like, but I do know they're big up front. So if the big boys can move East Penn around, they're going to have some success. But they were beaten pretty badly the last 2 years by East Pennsboro, so we'll see. I'm sure they want to get back at them.
This is the fifth meeting between the two, so this is the rubber match of sorts. 34-14 last year. East Pennsboro won this one. They also lost 5 in a row late in the season, but 3 of them by 7, 2 in overtime. We have one of those games right here on High School Sports Live TV. I want to bring in Charlie Fortney, who's kind of our founder of the feast here. And Charlie, 100th year of football for East Pennsboro. That's another storyline here tonight. And you had a chance to catch up with a guy named Mickey Schuler, who a lot of us remember from Penn State and also right here at East Pennsboro. Talk a little bit about that interview. We'll see that later on tonight.
Yeah, Mickey Schuler and Mickey Schuler Jr. both had stints in the NFL. A lot of years, over 20 years between the two of them. Mickey Schuler Sr., 14 years in the NFL, 12 years, two Pro Bowls, 12 years with the Jets. Mickey Schuler Jr. spent 8 different NFL teams, bounced around, got a chance to travel. We joked about that. His dad had to stay put in New York. But just the best tight end in the history of the Jets, 438 receptions, 37 touchdowns. It's treasure in South Central Pennsylvania. We had a chance to interview that treasure and talk about how the father and son relationship worked. It's awesome. And it's at the beginning of halftime, folks. It's 5 minutes long. You'll enjoy it. Make sure you pass around to your friends to tune in at halftime if they're not watching the rest of the game, because you don't want to miss the relationship between father, son, and how it was related to the legacy at East Pennsboro and how Coach Dennison and the whole team had a chance to interact with those two guys this week.
Next up, you're going to hear from a big lineman here as we talk about East Pennsboro and York Suburban. They're getting ready to come right at you here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. And welcome to York Suburban High School. It's the kickoff of the York Rose Bowl, the kickoff classic. Suburban and East Penn underway. And East Penn kicking it off. East Pennsboro down to York Suburban, and they will set up shop right now. Right around the 20-yard line will be first down and 10. Gary Sutton with you alongside of me tonight, Bill Chase and Evan Brooks from Fox 43 Sports. And great to have Evan aboard with us tonight. Evan, welcome up.
Thank you guys for having me. Nothing better than high school football season. This one's a great one. Rivalry games, can't beat it. First game of the year. I'm excited.
Beginning to fall, the 5th game between these two over the last 5 years, Bill, and 2-2. So we got a rubber match of sorts tonight. East Pennsboro won 34-14 last year, but Suburban setting up now 1st and 10 here at their own 20-yard line. Got Rylan Bratton at the quarterback spot. Fakes the handoff. Pass near side. It's going to be out to Jackson Rudisil. And Rudisil down the near side right away and steps out of bounds inside the 50-yard line. So a nice pickup on first down.
Yeah, just a little quick good safe play on the first play. And
who was the tackle?
Chris Miller, number 2.
Thank you.
24-yard pickup on first down of the game.
They have the ball.
Wide set this time, man in motion. Is going to be Braden Swain. Quick pass near side. Tackled again near the line of scrimmage. There's a nice pass inside there.
Paul Sanderson, the senior, brought down by number 44, Harrison Strine for the Trojans.
East Penn's coming out and doing something that I think they want to try and establish, and that's a passing game, which they haven't really had over a number of years now. So Otis 2 for 2 in the early going.
Quick passing game, way to get your quarterback in rhythm, start off the game, nice easy throws, and already close to midfield.
Eye behind the quarterback this time, man in motion. There's your handoff right over the middle, blasting up over the middle, down into York Suburban territory. Will go East Pennsboro down near the 43-yard line. And a good hard run that time by J.J. Gosden, who was really tough second half of last season.
Very good run right there, right up the middle, kind of gashing the defense, and, in plus territory now.
First down and 10. East Pennsboro on the march, celebrating their 100th year of football. They have two receivers either side, throwing long far side, not going to go, off the hands of Keith Otis. Keith Otis, the third, a 3-year starter here. The guy who saw a lot of snaps last year was Dakota Campbell, kind of all everything for this team. Punter, runner, passer. We saw him in an overtime game against Northern. He was brilliant. He's now at Kutztown playing his trade.
Yeah, he was just an athlete. He played some quarterback last year for them.
So it'll be first down and 10. Second down and 10, rather. All spotted down at the 43-yard line. Otis, inside handoff again, brought down right there at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle for York Suburban, and again, that number you're going to hear a lot tonight. Harrison Strine on the tackle.
Strine, a smaller guy coming off the edge, quick moves.
Harrison Strine, loss of 3 on the play. Makes it 3rd and 13 from the 45 of the Trojans.
So 3rd and 13 now, ball back at the 45-yard line of the Panthers. Wearing their white and orange and black tonight out of Enola, Pennsylvania for York Suburban. They're in black tonight as their home uniforms. Fooled me out of the gate. They're also black and orange, so if you're a black and orange fan tonight, you love this game. Here's Otis again, straight back, throwing deep. A lot of air under the ball. He's got his man all the way down inside the 10-yard line near the 5. What a pass from Otis. Great pass all the way downfield, and he caught his man down there. It was Trey Good, a guy who broke his collarbone last year, but Trey Good, a guy he loves to work to in a big receiving situation, Bill.
Yeah, they lost him early in the year, and I think they really counted on him this year. He was the inside slot there, and it was just a slot fade, which is if the corner doesn't react, you're going to get by him, and that's what happened.
He had C.J. Rissmiller out there covering him one-on-one, so first and goal now. East Pennsboro straight down the middle, crashing down near the goal line. Not going to quite get in there, but a nice solid run straight south.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill mentioned it. Slot fade, a really popular play in the game today. And, when that safety's off of you and got speed, you can run right past them, set them up, right down in the red zone. So good drive going for East Pennsboro to start.
It'll be second down and 2 yards to go. Second down and goal. So you can expect a little bit more of that. Man in the backfield this time, it's going to be Gossard. And handoff inside to...
Touchdown Panthers!
And the handoff straight up the middle. Nothing fancy there at all for a 2-yard run for the touchdown for the Panthers of East Pennsboro. And it looked like the number that was called on that one was number 31, Paul Sanderson. So Paul Sanderson with the score here in the first quarter.
That is how you start an opening drive to the high school season. Right down the field, couple quick passes, couple good hard runs, and, break into the end zone, kind of try and break the seal, take the wheel from the other team, especially in a rivalry game. Great drive for East Pennsboro to start.
Snap is down, kick is up, kick is good for Maui Alami, and it is 7-0 here in the first quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live to be on Fox 43.2.
You mean the world to us.
You sure do.
And one day, you'll need to take care of us just like we take care of you. We have goals to retire and travel, and you're a big part of those plans.
I don't think they understand.
maybe I'm just not good at this.
Our investment and trust services team helps you plan for the future. Have better conversations with your money with F&M Trust.
Advanced Hoops is offering players a chance to play and train this fall for 10 weeks, 5-on-5, 1-on-1, 3-on-3, and a focused skill development factory that will have players ready for the winter season. Sign up now to play and train with Advanced Hoops. Add an extra rapid-fire skill class for free if you sign up soon. Young players in 5th to 8th grade register at advancedhoops.com. So the opening drive, Bill Chase, was a big play, a couple small plays, another big play, and then crashed it into the end zone, right?
Well, they saw out of Keith Otis in the first drive what they wanted to see. I think Coach Denniston realizes that in today's high school football, like the college and the pro game, if you can't throw a little bit, you're not going to go very far. You might be a 500 team at best, but you need to be able to throw because teams will take away what you can do well. So nice opener for Otis.
Want a balanced attack for sure.
Here's your kickoff to York Suburban. And fumble back there by Rissmiller. Rissmiller's going to pick it up, trying to get out of trouble. Does. And then gets hit hard. And is going to be ridden down along the 25-yard line by Colton Keys. So 25-yard line set up here. Looks like first down for the Trojans, their first offensive possession tonight.
With the tackle for East Penn.
For the Trojans this evening, Rylan Bratton. 98 out of 185 last year, 1,418 yards, 9 touchdowns. A guy who can run an offense pretty well here, Evan.
Yeah, absolutely. Was impressed with him last year. Really got comfortable in that quarterback position. I expect him to spread him out a little bit more this year and let him get that arm loose and let him throw a little bit more.
York Suburban 7-5 last season in the York Area League. There's your handoff off the left side. Mickey Benevenu was the guy you heard about a lot last year. Well, he's up at Duquesne now. But this time it's going to be the running back over the left side, and that's C.J. Rissmiller for a nice gain, only a sophomore.
Yeah, definitely hard to replace a guy like Mikey Benevega. He was a star in this league last year, like you mentioned, up at Duquesne. So it's going to be a group effort tonight for the York Suburban team to try and replace his production.
Second down and 5, ball spotted at the 30-yard line here of the Trojans, the home-standing Trojans here tonight. Averaged 30 points a game last year, gave up about 24. Bratton, 2 in the backfield on the shift. And good surge up front that time by East Pennsboro, led by Keith Otis.
Might have lost the ball there.
And is the ball loose? And they're going to say no.
Yes, it is.
The ball is loose on a fumble.
This is
exactly what it is. And Evan, you saw it right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Keith Oates, how about that? The quarterback playing both ways, quarterback and linebacker coming in there, stuffing the runner and ripping that ball loose. What a play. That's what you want to see in your leader offensively and defensively. That's a heck of a play.
Definitely not the start that York Suburban was looking for here early in the year. But again, it's early in the year, it's early in the game, and there are going to be a lot of mistakes on both sides.
4 of 5 returning on the offensive line here for East Pennsboro this year. 8 starters on the offense as well. So this is an experienced team here you're looking at with East Pennsboro.
You said one more, Jonathan?
With the Panthers.
Yes. Okay.
Here's Otis again looking. Otis with a lot of presence here. Looking to the end zone. Double coverage.
That's got to be a flag.
And he's going to get pass interference. Yeah, the receiver down there actually split the 2 defenders and got pushed on the way by.
Number 10.
For number 10.
Looked like Brecken swoop on that one.
Brecken swoop falls incomplete, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, he made a nice move to step inside the corner, and he split the receivers, and the safety, I guess, felt he had no other choice but to take him down. Now, in high school football, it won't be a spot foul.
Right.
It'll be marked off from the line of scrimmage and will be a first down.
Again, big gain in the play via the penalty. But another nice throw. And you know, one of the things, Evan, you've got to be impressed with so far with Keith Otis is the presence. He seems to have a real poise back there that you really got to like.
Absolutely, especially as a 12th grader, a senior. You know, he's played a lot of football. You really see the poise, like you mentioned. His O-line is really protecting him well. He's having time to find his go-to guys. You know, Brecken Swope and Trey Good. I'm very impressed with Keith Oates so far.
I'll tell you what, that O-line is big too, Bill. So here they are under center now, down to the 15-yard line. The 15-yard penalty. There's the handoff again. Bouncing off the right side is J.J. Gossard. He's getting a lot of work so far.
If we go back just the play before that, I like that Denniston went for it right after the turnover. You know, you're right around the 35-yard line. you have a chance to really put these guys down 2 scores early. Now I think they'll settle down a little bit and see what they can do on the ground here.
We're 2nd down and 7 now. Back in the eye.
3-yard pickup on play.
Got the up man. There you go again. It's going to be Gossard, and Gossard slicing through for a 7-yard touchdown, and East Pennsboro firing hard out of the gate is J.J. Gossard in for yet another touchdown here in the first quarter at the 7:09 mark, and East Pennsboro has thrown down the gauntlet here to start this game.
Yeah, really taking it to the host school here, York Suburban. Gossard, as you mentioned, slices right up the middle, follows his blockers. That O-line you mentioned, Gary, big, strong, and fast. They are creating huge holes, and Gossard takes advantage for the touchdown.
And those guys are working together really well. So in for the extra point is Ali Alami. Snap is down, kick is up, plenty on it, and the kick is good. 14-0, 7:09 to go in the first quarter. We take a break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
And shooting the basketball, no one does it better than Charlie. He has trained over 25 Division I players and over 300 college-level players. The tradition continues this fall. To get a spot in Charlie's fall shooting classes, go to advancedhoops.com. Gary Sutton with you alongside of Bill Chase and Evan Brooks. And I'll tell you what, we have an outstanding effort here by East Pennsboro out of the gate. They're celebrating their 100 years of football right now, big time, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, what better way than to get out a 14-0 lead on arrival? They're taking this to heart, 100 years, and they want to make those guys and those alum happy.
The actual celebration is going to come up on September 25th. They play Gettysburg. It'll be exactly 100 years. So that's where we're at on this. Here's the kickoff. Downfield for Suburban again. Fumbled. Picked up here by Suburban. Trying to fight their way forward in over the 25-yard out to about the 26-yard line. And Suburban's going to have the football right there.
East Pennsboro very aggressive on defense, coming in for the strip. It looks like every single time for the ball carrier.
Yeah, this is a very bad start for York Suburban, to state the obvious here. They've been beaten by East Penn the last couple of years by over 20 points in both games. East Pennsboro just maybe has a little bit more horsepower right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can see those 4-year players right now who've been together during John Dennison's term there. And they're just having a tough time handling the football. And again, a missed snap here all the way back to 15. So it's the opening night. You think maybe it's Halloween instead of the beginning of the football season, right?
Yeah, especially with these colors on. I mean, black, orange, white. Definitely think it's Halloween. It's Halloween now for
Bill, you talked as a coach how hard it is on the opening night, but you don't expect these kinds of mistakes. Or maybe you do. Maybe some of these ball handling kind of errors, but you see the team that's experienced and the team maybe it isn't so much.
Well, there's a long way to go, and sometimes it just takes one little thing to turn a long run, a turnover, maybe by East Pennsboro to help York Suburban. We'll see what transpires the rest of this half.
We saw this kind of game with East Pennsboro last year against Northern. They came out having this kind of lousy first half, and then they came back storming and got into overtime. And there's a short pass. Again, it's going to be incomplete near sideline. Intended receiver there was John Glennon.
I think they're going to call interference on this game.
So interference called here, and that'll get a first down for the Trojans. They need something right now because it's 6-0 in first down so far, East Pennsboro, and that's not a good number.
No, it's not. It's not. Like you said, you want to get something going. Like Bill said, it could be anything. A penalty, a big play. They got a penalty right here, and let's see what they do with it.
That got you out of the second down and 20 pretty quickly. And I think it's still going to be, it should be automatic first down, right? Or is it going to be still second down?
It'll be second down.
Yeah, it'll be second down here, and they're going to have to
much more manageable.
Second and much more manageable than 20. So the ball's at the 29-yard line now. Have about 6 yards to go for a first down. Bratton, handoff. inside Rissmiller. And C.J. Rissmiller getting the call early and often here. Not much on that play, as he's going to be taken down along the line of scrimmage by Ryshawn Johnson.
Now this becomes a key third down play here. I think this is going to be one of the moments where you look back and say if they get the first down here and they come back and make this a competitive game, this was one of the plays that would be crucial. I hate to say it's a crucial play early on, but it is.
Absolutely, big third downs. Big third down here early in the game, Bill, like you said, and like you said.
Let's see what Bratton is feeling right here. Tight formation, 2 receivers far side, sidecar in the backfield, 1 man in motion.
Looks like man coverage.
And you're going to draw a guy offside, I think.
Flag on the field.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a first down.
There you go. So nice job there by Rylan Bratton of maybe a little inflection there, who knows, but quick anticipation by East Pennsboro, and those penalties will knock you dead in that situation if you're East Pennsboro.
And again, those are early game mistakes. It looked like he was going to stunt from the outside, and he just got a little over anxious.
So it'll be first down now for York Suburban. So if you can't gain it by the play, gain it by the penalty. Two first downs gained by penalties here so far in the first quarter.
Yeah, drawing them offsides, trying to get into plus territory, trying to get to the 50. Let's see if this can get this drive going.
See what Josh Fry has up his sleeve here for his Suburban Trojans. Man in motion this time is Lebedka. There's your handoff to Rissmiller. Rissmiller, a little bit of running room this time, and gets slapped down. And still keeps on going out over the 40, near the 42-yard line. Nice run by C.J. Rissmiller.
Yeah, he got hit early on, and he kept his legs moving here. East Pennsboro is going to stick you. This sounds kind of silly, but East Pennsboro they look like football players in those all-white uniforms. They fill them out. They look athletic. They just look.
They look bigger, don't they?
They just look like they're the more physical team.
You know, Gary, I was always told white makes you look faster when you're wearing white jerseys, and I think we're seeing that tonight.
Well, the Oakland A's proved that. They put those white shoes on years ago, right? So there you go. But anyway. Here it is, second down, call it 5. Pounding forward, out near the 45-yard line, rather, just shy of that. So I'm going to bring up the third down now for.
Brought down by number 9.
Now at the 45-yard line, about a yard short here for York Suburban. So another big play. I call it maybe closer to 2 yards right now. It's a long yard.
Yeah, I would expect him to keep it on the ground here, and it may be, if you get into a 4th and inches situation, I'm sure they'll go for it.
Steady diet of Rissmiller here so far. So, again, tight formation.
Looks like man-to-man coverage here from East Pennsboro.
Put that extra blocker up there in front with the big guy, Glennon. There's your handoff, and there, I think, is your first down as well. Nice job by York Suburban and getting a little something going here, Bill Chase.
Yeah, Ryshawn Johnson looked like he had him in the backfield, and he spun right out of it. So this becomes a key drive. You have 3.5 minutes to go, still in the first quarter. If they can go down and score here.
Well, and what they've done is they've slowed the game down a little bit, too. They've put the defense on the field here on a hot night and said, okay, we're going to handle the ball. And I remember reading somewhere, if you've got it, they don't. So I'm pretty sure it's 100% true. But right now, York Suburban with some pretty good ball handling as they've marched forward here, almost to the 50-yard line. And there's no secret on where they're going, but this time they smell it out pretty well. Does East Pennsboro.
Brought down by number 9.
And the guy who jumped in on that tackle was Mr. Otis once again. He has been dominant on both sides of the ball, tonight, a quarterback and also back here on defense.
You could just tell he's a football player, diagnosing the run right there, especially as a quarterback, probably is very familiar with formations, just slicing through the offensive line and making a big tackle.
I talked to him on media day for the Mid-Penn. I'll tell you what a neat kid. And just full of energy and loves his teammates, just loves being around and always looking for ways to kind of meld them together. Second down, call it 13 yards to go. Again, slicing off the right side, another nice run.
Yeah.
And again, it's Rissmiller, and he's a busy guy tonight. He's going to be tired out by about the third quarter.
Busy. Looks like Benavega last year with that number 2 on. CJ has his work cut out for him, but he's looking good this drive and, trying to get his Trojans going.
Bill, what's the thinking right now, coaching-wise? I mean, you're getting wrist mode of the ball literally every time. There's not a whole lot of mix-up of plays on this.
Well, I think
until she bucks?
I think you've got to go ride who your best players right now. You're down 2 scores, and if anything, they've changed field position. That should.
Okay, rolling far side, looking, smelled out, trying to get loose. And finally brought down is Stratton. Looked like he had a little room to run, but that closed down fast. Good defense again, and it wasn't Otis up there.
Otis is he's a football player. You don't see many teams using their quarterback at outside linebacker, but this kid can play. He looks a little tired right now. And that's
yeah, I bet he's making every tackle.
But we're going to get to a stage here where you're going to have to get some substitutes in, and that could play a big factor in the game as well.
Always good to have depth in high school football. You never know. Cramps can happen, especially first game of the year. These guys, still getting used to everything.
So Suburban's going to kick it out of there. Good high kick, end over end. Taking it back there, and then good coverage for a moment, but then getting loose. Is that Otis again?
That's number 5.
That is Trey Good.
5.
Check that. It's going to be number 5 coming down there, and that is Trey Good, who caught a big pass a little bit ago that made a big difference and led to a score. So Trey Good, ever dangerous here for this Panthers team, brings it back upfield, and they'll set up shop again with pretty good field position.
As a coach years ago, going into first games, I was always concerned about special teams. They can play such a crucial role. How much time have you put into special teams?
Look at this. Good fake there by Good, and then just breaking loose. Was wrapped up for a moment there by Labadika, but he got loose, gets him back out to the 40-yard line, and a good setup here with 40.9 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Bill, you mentioned that special teams a key part of the game, third part of the game, and it matters, and it's mattering here tonight.
Here's your handoff, near side. It's got Brecken Swope, and Brecken Swope with a nice pickup all the way down into Trojan territory, and another first down here for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm guessing on that jet sweep. Swope's probably been taught to turn it up inside, and he hesitated there because he wanted to, but he clearly had the outside, and he made a nice gain on that.
Brecken Swope, a 5'10". Outstanding player here. He's a senior. Have so many seniors on this club. They've been together for 4 years, we talked about.
Yeah.
There you see the Suburban cheerleaders. They're opening night also. They're excited about this evening. There's Otis handing off, banging over the right side, and met by a whole swarm of Trojans. Nice job of smelling that out that time by York Suburban. Led by number 70 on that play. And that is the end of the first quarter here. 14-0. East Pennsboro leads it. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. Back after this.
Where were you last night? Do you know how embarrassing that was for me? No. Don't deflect. Well, that wasn't passive aggressive. Listen, I just need to know that I can trust you're going to be there when I need you. Hello? Our money just hung up on me.
Not cool.
Track your spending with our personal finance tool. Just another way to have better conversations with your money. From F&M Trust.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
And we start quarter number 2 here in the Rose Bowl of York, right here in York, Pennsylvania. It is the second game of 5 this weekend, and we got York Suburban, East Penn with the football. Good fake there by Otis to set that one up.
Nice.
Gets it out in the flat. He's got Gossard out there again. Gossard dangerous with football. As you can see, still up on his feet. Gossard inside the 20. Gossard to the 15, to the 10. Gossard jutters, steps right there and steps into the end zone. And Gossard with a 44-yard run J.J. Gossard having a whale of a first half here, Bill Chase, and they go up 20-0.
Yeah, they had trips down on the lower side here on the York Suburban sideline, and they cleared out. They ran some crossing routes, and then Gossard just flared out. I don't know if he was a safety valve on that, but he just Otis made the right read, and
here it is again.
Gossard took care of the rest of it.
Look at Gossard, just good breaking contact right there, covering the football well, taking it downfield.
Get your playmakers in space. That's what every coach wants to do. And Gossard, we know he's been a playmaker all day today, and he takes it in, takes advantage.
And Alami with the extra point, and we start the second quarter the way the first quarter went with 11:42 to go. East Pennsboro in control, 21-0 here on High School Sports Live TV.
You may recycle your electronics, appliances, and mercury thermostats at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
In addition to 8 local drop-off sites for recyclable materials.
Recycling matters in Dauphin County.
Since 2001, Dauphin County has recycled over 10,000 tons of electronics.
And 1.6 million tons of recyclables like cardboard and plastics.
Keep up the great work.
Bring it on!
Raw Sports and Advanced Hoops are teaming up to bring an NBA-style training combine to South Central PA. Players will be approved by Big Star from Raw Sports. This combine features skills and drills tests, media day with Big Star, and 10 weeks of training. High school boys and high school girls who want pushed to the max with top Advanced Hoops trainers. Sign up at www.advancedhoops.com. Well, it's been all East Pennsboro so far, Bill Chase. 21-0 here with 11:42 to go starting the second quarter, and Suburban's got to find some answers.
Yeah, I watched a YouTube video of John Denniston on Media Day, and I had to say, in his interview, I got the sense he was quietly confident.
Yes. And here you got a nice run back by Suburban all the way back out past the 40-yard line. And a great job getting that run back by Aiden Lubadika. So Lubadika gives them a nice run back, good field position here, Evan, and that's where you want to set up. You need a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel right now if you're York Suburban.
Absolutely. Good return to get it out, past the 40, like Bill said. Special teams, the third part of the game, and both teams looking pretty good on special teams. Like I said, maybe a big return could get this team going.
We talk about Otis tonight, 4 out of 5 for East Pennsboro for 112 yards and 1 touchdown. And not only that, he's been dynamite on defense as well. So, guy getting it done on both sides of the ball.
I'm going to guess they'll give him a little blow here on defense at some point, just not yet.
John Dennison says, this score, we got a long way to go in this one. But I'll tell you what. And again, ball down on the ground.
And
is it
Otis recovered.
Recovered by number 9.
And again,
Otis the third.
some loose ball handling here. And who covered it?
Otis.
Keith Otis. He's everywhere. Are we sure there's only one number 9 out there? I mean, is there more? Look at this guy. What a game he's having.
You would think so. You would
look
think
at
so.
this
He's
now.
literally everywhere. Big number 71 comes in. Quarterback a little loose with the ball, swipes it out. Big play by Josh Angelo, and like you mentioned, Keith Oates recovering it.
Big Josh Angelo there, who seems to be around the ball all the time, knocking that ball loose and then picked up by Otis. So Otis with a fumble recovery again here tonight, and he has been dynamite so far. So the ball's going to be at the 36-yard line for East Pennsboro. They'll set up again here. Great field position. Having it all their own way so far here in the first half. 11:23 to go. Otis takes the handoff.
Oh, nice catch.
Good pass out in the flat. Again, has that Mr. Good out there, Mr. Brecken Swope rather. Brecken Swope, the senior, sure-handed one. And they talked in Media Day about the much better group of receivers they have this year. They're going to try to spread it around a little bit more. So they're getting a nice combination of run and pass here, Bill.
Yeah, and they put trips out here, and the concept is if you have trips and they're only going to dedicate 2 defenders to that, you're going to throw it out there to them.
You got 2 receivers near side this time. Otis inside handoff, just banging over that left-hand side across the 25 down near the 23-yard line. Coming up at halftime is the Jack Team Volleyball halftime report, the Capital Blue Cross and AT&T halftime stats, and the Capital Region first half highlights all coming your way here tonight as we bring you the York Rose Bowl Kickoff Classic, played here in the White Rose City of York, PA. Ron Corsi, who just became the AD down here, set that all up, and a lot of fun. First game tonight, York School of Technology beat James Buchanan 14-7. He's second down and 8 now for East Pennsboro. Otis looking, has plenty of time, has a man wide open in the end zone, overthrows him a little bit. That offensive line tonight has been a story so far, guys, that, just he's getting all the time in the world to pick out where he wants to throw it.
Yeah, he does. And that lets you develop routes deeper down the field. Keith Oates has been taking advantage of it all night. The offensive line really holding up well right now.
Yeah, he tried to hit Ali Alami down the middle. He came out of the tight end spot there, a little play action, and looked like Alami gave up on the ball a little bit on that.
Alami's a nice target at 6'3", 180 pounds. Yeah. And I know Otis was talking about him early in the season at Media Day about what a good guy he is to have to throw at. So it'll be third down now, 8 yards. And now you're going to draw a player offside, I think. Let's see if there was movement along the offensive line.
See, and that's a huge penalty, a big mistake by York. But now you can run the ball twice.
Right.
It's third down, and now it's going to be 3rd and 3, something like that. And so you can run the ball 2 times now and try to get that first down.
Yeah, a lot more.
They've had no problem picking up that kind of yardage so far here tonight. Otis has not had to run the ball a whole lot so far. He ran it a lot last year, averaged 3.7 yards a carry, but so far tonight it's been his arm and his directorial skills, if you will. Here's that handoff. Again, it's Gossard slashing off the left-hand side, and Gossard gets another first down.
That was a nice job just caving down the whole left side on the offensive line there, and he just bounced it to the outside.
Really impressed with J.J. Gossard tonight, Evan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's picking his holes well. The offensive line is creating big gaps for him, and he's taking advantage. On every single carry, he's getting positive yards, and you can't ask more from your running back.
We got a timeout in the field. We'll take one as well. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newly relocated dealership, Jack Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. We have millions of dollars in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jack Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at Giambavo.com.
Division I players with 300 college-level players. The tradition continues this fall. To get a spot with Charlie, fall shooting classes go to advancedhoops.com. That's advancedhoops.com, and no one does it better. So it's first down now again for East Pennsboro as they are marching. They are already up 21-0 here with 10:04 to go in the second quarter. Otis back. Otis throws. Otis end zone. He's going to overthrow his man. So it'll be second down and 10 now. Brecken Swope, the intended receiver.
Yeah, he had one-on-one coverage out here, and he tried a little corner route, which was well covered by York Suburban.
So many times in the modern game, Bill, you watch teams throw to that back shoulder and try to hit people. That one's just an isolation play there. We had the man in the end zone, just overthrew him, but probably the wise decision there.
Yeah, it looked like he threw it away.
Second down ball at the 14-yard line. There's that handoff again to Gossard. Gossard tries to spin at the line. This time he's found out by York Suburban, and they bring him down there. Nice tackle on the play there for York Suburban.
Now comes a second key moment. 3rd and long. You definitely want to keep them out of the end zone.
Dylan Hopwood on the tackle there for the Trojans. So a semi-stand right here, if you will, for the Trojans.
Seem to be settling in just a tad bit. I know they're down 21-0 right now, but you don't want to let it get away from you too much. A big red zone stand right here would be huge.
Third down and 8 from 12-yard line. Otis back. Otis rolls near side. He can run. Otis the end zone, and just missed through it and almost looked like the York Suburban player was the intended receiver.
Yeah, wide open in the end zone. Just one of the few mishaps he's had all night. He's been close to perfect.
What kind of leg Ali Alami has here? We've seen him kick the extra points. He looked pretty good. But I wonder if they were thinking about maybe going for 3. Timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. It is 21-0, and decision to be made by East Pennsboro here right after this. This is High School Sports Live, TV on Fox 43.2.
The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 9 great franchises in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Genesis of York, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Giambavo Hyundai of Hanover, and our newly relocated dealership, Jet Giambavo Mazda. The Giambavo family of dealerships. We have millions of dollars in new and pre-owned inventory. With a reputation for quality service after the sale, Giambavo is proud to serve your community. Find out why. The Jet Giambavo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambavo.com.
Hey, coming up at halftime, Mickey Schuler. Remember that tight end for Penn State, and later on the Jets and Mickey Schuler Jr. Charlie has an interview with them, but they've got Alami in here now to try the three-pointer. It's going to be a 30-yard field goal effort. He's got a lot of leg. The snap, it's down, the kick up, big leg, plenty of foot, and it is good. And Alami
hit the right
Packs
upright.
on a 30-yard field goal, hit the right upright, and bounced the right way. And when it's going right for you, it's going right. We take a timeout. It's 24-0. East Pennsboro leads York Suburban with 9:04 to go.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
We'll take a look at this shot from Ali Alami, 30 yards out, and he lets it go, and it's going to just get on the inside of the upright. And, man, when it's going right, guys.
Absolutely. Ball might have a horseshoe in it. Everything going right for East Pennsboro so far this year.
Well, we saw Dakota Campbell with a pretty good leg last year, but this Ali Alami, I'll tell you what, this guy can boot it. I haven't seen a whole lot of weaknesses so far on this East Pennsboro team.
No, they look like a very solid football team early on, but it's still early.
Oh, and look what they just did. Alami kicks it off a player, and they're going to cover it. He kicked it flat right off a York Trojan player, a York Suburban Trojan player, and guess what? East Pennsboro's got it again.
That is a crazy play right there. I've actually never.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water.
And if you're Coach Josh Fry from York Suburban, you're waiting. You're hoping for halftime real quick.
Yeah, exactly. And Josh Fry, not a terribly happy guy right now. Nor would anybody be in this particular situation. As East Pennsboro, look at this, just this flat kick right off the receiver and then bounces all the way back upfield. And, of course, just like an onside kick, except you kicked it 20 yards down, came back 15, and you got the ball.
You mentioned it, Gary. When it's going right, it is going right. Everything going East Pennsboro's way so far in this rivalry game to open up week 1.
Another turnover here. That's the third turnover of the half now against York Suburban. Now you got trips near side. Kind of a triangle set. Otis looking. Throws it deep. He's got one-on-one coverage. He's got his man down there. And nice job at knocking it away again by Rissmiller right at the end.
Yeah, it might have been a tad underthrown. The receiver had 2-3 steps on, and the underthrown ball allowed the defender to track it down.
He was looking for Brecken Swope again, who was streaming down that far sideline, and a nice job by Rissmiller to get in and save the touchdown catch.
But again, I like East Pennsboro's call. They got one-on-one coverage out there. They bury York Suburban if they put that one in the end zone.
Yeah, when you're a DB in that situation, you get beat. All you can do is run and not give up on the play. Rissmiller did it right there and came away with the pass breakup.
So it's 2nd down and 10 now. All at the 49-yard line. Handoff by Otis. There goes Gossard. Off the left side, inside the 45-yard line. York Suburban territory down near the 42. Leaving about 2 to 3 yards short of a first down.
I am so impressed with East Pennsboro's play calling. I mean, a balanced attack on the ground and through the air. They are really attacking the Trojans in every which way right now.
Yeah, they really are, from every different angle. And Bill, the balance so far has been exceptional.
I think it's something they've lacked in the past, and I think they knew they had to make that correction. And with a returning starter, quarterback.
They had 7 returning starters on offense, 8 on defense. So, I mean, they've got this veteran team, and you'd expect them to be gelling pretty well. And they're gelling very well here in this first game.
Couldn't ask for a better start right here. And East Pennsboro looks like a well-oiled machine.
And it looks looks like East Pennsboro walking back this time, a little movement along that offensive line, so that'll bring the ball back out near the 47-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9, and you'll see the movement lifting up on that left side right there. Probably one of the only mistakes they've had here tonight.
Well, this is a situation where York Suburban can turn the tide a little bit.
Look for Swope or Good to be maybe the targets on this play.
You have an empty set here.
Yep.
Right over the middle you go, and not going to find his man. That was Trey Good. That's who they were looking for, right down the gut, but a little high. So Otis misses his man, and looks like a punting situation here, maybe, for East Pennsboro.
I mean, with the way their luck is going, I wouldn't even be surprised if they went for it in this situation.
And it looks like they might be thinking, well, no, they're going to send a guy back here.
I think you punt here. You're up 20. Why give York Suburban field position?
Any chance for momentum.
This situation where you're always going to punt.
And it's going to be Trey Good back to do the punting here. So Good, a left-footed punter. Look at this boom. Boy, the kicking game tonight has been extraordinary for East Pennsboro. As Good, high, unreturnable kick, and leaves Suburban starting with the ball in not very good field position right here. 7:52 to go here in the first half. Don't forget Advanced Hoops, your sponsor here tonight, but also coming up at halftime, the Jack Giambalvo halftime report, the Capital Blue Cross and AT&T halftime stats, and the Capital Region first half highlights. Gary Sutton, Evan Brooks, Bill Chase with you here tonight, live from York Suburban, an 8:35 game. Don't forget tomorrow night we'll be here again. It'll be York High and Harrisburg High. A lot of people looking forward to that big matchup. And don't forget also at halftime tonight, the Mickey Schuler interview with Charlie Fortney and also Mickey Schuler Jr., two former Jets and two former Penn State guys that whose names we still remember from the days of Nittany Lions. So here's your handoff. Bottled up, trying to get out of there. Is that Rhys Miller with the ball again? Get a couple of yards out past the 10-yard line. Got to be a little ginger right now inside your own 10.
East Pennsboro has 24 points on the board, but I'm mostly impressed with their defense. I mean, they've turned the ball over a couple of times for their offense. They've given them short fields. You watch this first half and you think, where is York Suburban going to find points?
Right. And right now, your answer's got to be, from what we're seeing, nowhere at this point. But again, one good play could turn it around.
Absolutely. And Gary, you mentioned it at the beginning. You know, you lose a guy like Mikey Benavega. I mean, that's tough to replace, a guy playing Division I football this upcoming fall.
Again, off the right side, just moving the pile out near the 15-yard line. Just trying to get some kind of field position to maybe get it out of there or get a first down. That first order of business, Bill's got to be get a first down, move the ball.
Yeah, if you get a first down here, you can take it down inside of 6 minutes and get it up to the 35, 40-yard line, and then maybe you can start to think about scoring. But you've got to get out of here first. You can't give East Penn the ball back right now.
Aiden Lubadiga checks back into the game there with the play. He's out here on the near sideline, one-on-one. This will be 3rd down now. Call it 3. Quarterback keeper trying to get loose off the far side. Nowhere to go again. Bottled up inside. And was that Otis coming in again?
It was.
See, the thing I like about East Penn, the one guy didn't make the tackle, but he slowed the quarterback down, and then there were 2 others from East Pennsboro closing on the quarterback.
Well, and they're forcing and funneling everything to the middle. There's no room to get to the outside at all, and that's what they've shut off anything to the outside so far tonight.
Yeah, the defense looks absolutely super prepared for everything that the Trojans are throwing at them right now.
So now you got to kick it out of there again if York Suburban. Probably pretty good field position coming up here. Back is good to receive the ball. And we got a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 5:42 to go in the first half. It's East Pennsboro 24, York Suburban nothing.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
And the student section out in force tonight for York Suburban. There you can see it. And they said we love Connor Hayes. But so far in the game, not much to love about the score. Is no points on the board so far. But, they're, hey, it's opening night.
Yeah.
Things are going to get better. Everybody is ready to see things turn here for York Suburban. But right now they're going to have to kick it out of there and live to fight another day. So here's your snap. High end-over-end kick. Not terribly long. And it's going back wrong way as it almost rolls back down toward the punter. And so, again, nothing happening, Bill, that's positive right now on the York Suburban side.
No, everything's going wrong, and they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot at times as well. And here's where I'd like to see East Pennsboro just put it on the ground, just say to York Suburban, we're better than you, we're more physical than you, take 3-4 minutes off the clock, get another touchdown just before the half.
Yep. So here's East Pennsboro now with the football. Otis has been all but flawless tonight at the quarterback spot. Ball spotted at the 22-yard line. And there it goes. They're going to have the handoff near sideline. It's Gossard again. Gossard changes up speeds there, and Gossard with a couple steps forward. They're going to flag down on the field. One of the few tonight. It's in the backfield. So it'll be a penalty against East Pennsboro.
Nice tackle right there by Tasha Sweeney, coming up and making a play at the corner.
J.J. Gossard came on hard last year at the end of the season, averaged 5.3 yards a game, had 6 touchdowns for his team late in the season, so a guy who really got it done. Very impressed with J.J. Gossard here tonight. So big penalty will bring it all the way back to the 34-yard line, where it'll be first down and York County. Exciting news this week up in this neck of the woods, by the way. If you read about the big cats that were spotted, they're up here on the hill somewhere. No one's quite sure what they were. The word mountain lion was mentioned a couple of times, but there's Otis. Otis got some room running. Instead, he's got pitch and catch. He's out there again. Breck and Swope steps across out of bounds at the first down yardage markers, and it will be a first down, it looks like.
Once Otis came out of his play fake there and cleared everybody on York Suburban, all he had to do was toss it out there for an easy first down.
He's seeing the field very, very well tonight.
That's a nice play.
And he had room to run it if he wanted to, and he just said, hey, why not just throw to my receiver? I've got Swope out there, and he looks for Swope a lot. So to first down it goes, 13-yard line. Again, marching here are the Panthers of East Pennsboro, celebrating 100 years of football officially on September 25th against Gettysburg. They started back in 1923. Don't forget, Charlie Fortney's got a great interview coming up at halftime with Mickey Schuler and Mickey Schuler Jr. Mickey Schuler, of course, one of the greats of all time at Penn State as far as tight end, and then went on to the Jets, and so did his son, following in Dad's footsteps. So incomplete on that pass. Second down coming up from the 13-yard line. Thanks to Ron Corsi for organizing this whole thing tonight. The York Rose Bowl Kickoff Classic played in the White Rose City of York, Pennsylvania. We'll be with you again tomorrow night at 8:35. York High and Harrisburg High. Much anticipated game. And boy, I'll tell you what, talk about being stood up that time as Gossard got hit, but he got some yardage first.
Big hit by the defense right there. See if that can, ignite a little bit of a fire inside of the Trojans.
It's not as if East Penn is completely dominating up front here. York Suburban standing up pretty well against the run. East Penn's had some good yards in the ground, but they're not getting trampled by the front. But the passing game's hurting them.
Well, here's Otis now over center. Third down. Call it 6. Takes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. Rolls near side. Might run it himself. Instead throws toward the end zone. Has his man again. It's Brecken Swope, his favorite target all night long, who's inside the 5 down near the 3-yard line.
York Suburban just gives up the corner too easily. I mean, Otis is so comfortable once he gets outside the pocket because there's no black jerseys around him at all.
Evan, that's what I was going to say, is that they haven't made him uncomfortable yet tonight.
No,
I mean,
no, they haven't.
Had his choice of where do I want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, he's seeing the field very well. His offensive line is protecting very well, and he's just having wide open lanes to throw the ball and hit his go-to guys.
So you got to think maybe Gossard gets this one. It's first down and goal from the 3-yard line. Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what, Otis is a big kid. I would not want to try to have to bring him down. They're throwing for the end zone. And that's tipped up in the air. A little surprised that they went for the gun across the middle there, Bill.
Yeah, that's not their MO, but maybe they want to change it. Maybe they want to get him comfortable down here. Sometimes, you're going to run into games where you're going to have to complete a 2-yard pass down in the goal line. But
maybe John Dennison feeling a little frisky there, right?
I'll bet my month's Social Security check they run this one.
So it'll be second down now and goal from the 3-yard line.
And Bill, you mentioned it brought a little pressure on that last play right there. Try to, make him uncomfortable a little bit and just switch it up.
And instead, this time Otis says, I'll keep it, thank you very much, and taking it up and working hard all night long. And Otis takes it in for his first touchdown of the night here with 4:02 to go in the third quarter, or in the second quarter, rather. And Keith Otis with a touchdown runs it up now to 30-0 as they're going to send in Ali Alami for the extra point.
And I get to keep my Social Security.
You do. Although I thought it was going to be Gossard, but Otis mixed it up a little bit on him. And I'll tell you what, I mentioned a moment ago, that's a big body to try to have to bring down from that quarterback spot. That guy's going to take some people on.
He looks like a solid kid. He plays linebacker.
Yeah, he's got the build for sure.
Wow. They're going to go for 2. Not quite sure about this one.
Well,
I'm not sure what the thinking is there.
Yeah, I don't.
It might be like rubbing it in a little bit.
I don't think they're doing that, but it's an odd call.
It is an odd
at
call.
This stage.
Yeah, you're up 30-0, and you think, okay, we can, there hasn't been any sign so far there's going to be another side of this game yet. So let's see if they stay with that. So what's going through his mind right now, Bill, you think?
We talking about Coach Dennis?
Yes.
I really don't know. Every coach has their card that says we're up by this much, but I don't think it goes up to 30 points. So,
are you working on the 2-point play for future? I mean,
no,
that's the only thing I can figure.
No, I think
I was trying to bail him out there.
I used to like to. I didn't want people to know what our 2-point plays were. You use them when you have to, not when you're up by 30-0.
Well, and this is one of those, too, as an old coach, that you put in your memory bank for the day when you play again. So we'll see. Apparently they're going to stay with the play right here.
Wow.
Josh Fry called timeout. He saw it. He was a little surprised, too, for York Suburban. So let's see what they have to offer here.
Gary, sometimes you just want to really, take it to a rival, and I think that might be in the back of Coach's mind.
Right, this rivalry is only 5 games deep, so we'll see. Hey, every coach has a reason for why they do things. It'd be interesting to know what the one is in this case. There's Otis throwing to the end zone, and it's going to be broken up, so it does not work anyway. 4:02 to go, 30-0. East Pennsboro leads it. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more. This is High School Sports Live 3 on Fox 43.2.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
First half, 193 yards for East Pennsboro, 11 for York Suburban so far. And again, having a tough time covering up the kickoff as they'll cover it up at the 30-yard line where York Suburban will get the ball. And Bill, to say this has been a nightmare of the first half for York Suburban might be an understatement.
Well, I'm a little surprised by this score. I'm not surprised that East Pennsboro is controlling the game. I mean, it may be time to say that they come out of the Colonial Division, which has become very, very tough up in the Mid-Penn.
Right.
You had 5 playoff teams come out of that division last year, including East Pennsboro. So it doesn't shock me that East Pennsboro is controlling this game. Maybe the score surprises me a little bit.
And me as well. So it'll be York Suburban with the football here, trying to get something going before the half. Here's your inside handoff. Rissmiller near side. Rissmiller has been the one light here so far in the first half. Was again a good pickup here out near the 39-yard line. Going to bring up a second down. And they'll mark it at the 39. Second down, a long 2 or short 3. Evan, what's impressed you so far with East Pennsboro in this ballgame?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that they're, really clicking on all cylinders on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. We mentioned Keith Otis has looked sharp all day on offense and defense. Seems like they're very prepared for this first game of the season. So I've just been impressed by the complete effort.
And again, out near the first down yardage for Rissmiller. He might have been just shy of that. We'll wait and see where the spot goes down, but a good inside handoff again to Rissmiller, and they're going to move the chain. So a first down here for York Suburban. 3:16 to go here in the first half. Don't forget, we got that Mickey Schuler interview coming up at halftime with Charlie Fortney, Mickey Schuler Jr., and also John Denniston in on that as well, as they are celebrating 100 years of football at East Pennsboro. What a mark that is. And John Denniston, the latest in successful coaches there. He's been with this group for 4 years. You can really see the fruits of his labor paying off right now. Excellent coach. Oh, good run here again for York Suburban, and out near a first down again. So all of a sudden dancing around, finding some room to run. And this time it's going to be Taza Sweeney for the nice run there. Number 18, that's sophomore. So a little youth movement.
Yep. So you have 2.5 here left in the first half of this game, and York Suburban would get the second half kickoff if they could go down and score here. Give them a little bit of a lift.
Yeah, the score of some kind they want to put on the board. And I think we've got some new uniforms on the field there right now, too, for East Pennsboro at the moment. But we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. 2:26 to go in the first half. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
You mean the world to us.
You sure do.
And one day, you'll need to take care of us just like we take care of you. We have goals to retire and travel, and you're a big part of those plans.
I don't think they understand.
Maybe I'm just not good at this.
Our investment and trust services team helps you plan for the future. Have better conversations with your money with F&M Trust.
And don't forget, coming up at halftime, the Jack Gianvalvo halftime report, the Capital Blue Cross and AT&T halftime stats, and the Capital Region first half highlights thanks to Travis Sparks tonight, who's doing our stats and doing a great job back there in our studio, and we appreciate all he's doing tonight. And of course, Chad Edwards and the whole Invicta crew doing a wonderful job here with the pictures this evening. It'll be first down and 10 now out at the 47-yard line for the Trojans of York Suburban as they're trying to find something to get them started here in the first half, down 30-0. And trying to find a place to go up the middle and know where to run to is Rylan Bratton, who has had a tough night so far. He's really not had any room. And as comfortable as Keith Otis has been on the East Pennsboro side, that's how uncomfortable Bratton has been on the Trojan side.
Yeah, Bratton, as soon as he felt pressure coming on his outside, he put the ball down. He did, and it's understandable. He didn't keep his eyes up, didn't see open guys downfield, and it's just your head starts to spin when games go like this, and it's hard to slow down now.
Yeah, I'm with you, Bill. When you get hit like that, you just start to drop your eyes and just look for any running room instead of keep your eyes up and look for a receiver downfield. It makes it tough.
Inside handoff again. The defense up front so far for East Pennsboro has been dynamite. That time led by number 63, Logan Newman of the Panthers. So it'll bring up third down now and 9 yards to go. Ball spotted out, or actually down near the 46-yard line. So Suburban, you'd like to see them complete a pass here. They really have not had a chance to throw the ball tonight at all.
Yeah, when they drop back to pass, haven't had much time, and quarterback's getting hit. Got to drop your eyes a little bit, and he's trying to look for some running lanes.
Looking down near the minute mark. Bratton back. Bratton, nice pass across the middle. Has his man open. He's going to get first down. Yes, he is. Nice completion. Pitch and catch from Bratton there. And again, it was Rissmiller right there in the middle of the field. He catches the ball, and another first down for Suburban. So they're moving a little bit now, Bill.
Now they have no timeout, so they've got to pick up the pace here a little bit. The clock is running again. See, they're in the huddle. And this
Bratton shows you a nice little arm there. Some pretty good poise. Had a little time to throw for the first time tonight.
I was impressed with the throw. He looks like he has a nice release, and he threw a nice tight ball.
Maybe that'll get him a little confidence. Again, here comes East Pennsboro.
So he's looking at the rush coming.
Yeah. So he's outside. He keeps going around the corner. Bratton down there. He's going to get near the first down, gets stood up, and he gets the first down. So nice job by Ryland Bratton to do it with his feet. When he saw the rush coming, he got out of the pocket.
Now, see, I think they need to get on the ball and kill it right now.
20.5 seconds.
Don't try to run a play. Kill the ball.
Right here, you just want to buy yourself a moment. Catch it, throw it down. Ball apparently stayed in bounds. It's kicking down now to 14-7.
Look a little confused right here.
Yeah, down to 8-7. Back, looking, end zone. Going to get loose here. He throws to the end zone. Does he have his man open? No. Had him open, just didn't catch him. 1 second to go here in the half. 0.9 actually.
Yeah, see, and that they wasted 15, 16 seconds there.
Right.
If they would have just killed the ball, it would have been second down, and they could have huddled up and gotten a play.
Yeah, again, it was a lack of poise there. And again, first game, lack of poise. Maybe that's something you look at the film and say, oh, you know what? We got to learn, because that's where we have seen the poise tonight on the side of East Penn.
Well, I'm not blaming the players on that. That's where the coaches have to have a signal to just say, you want to kill the ball right now.
Well, this one you just want to make sure you hit the end zone with it if you can. See what kind of arm he has and if he gets the time, because they're going to be coming.
I have a feeling he has an arm.
He's got an arm.
Nice
Throws
ball.
it to the corner. He's got a man down there. And it was incomplete, out of bounds, and that is going to end the first half. 30-0 at the half. York Suburban leads, East Pennsboro leads York Suburban here on High School Sports Live TV. Coming up at halftime, the Jack Giambalvo halftime report, the Capital Blue Cross and AT&T halftime stats, the Capital Region first half highlights. We got the Mickey Schuler broadcast coming up here with Charlie Giroux, and a great interview. You don't want to miss that. And then we'll be back with the second half, all here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. It's halftime here at York Suburban.
Once again, coming up.
All right, guys, this is the 100th year of East Pennsboro football. It's a legacy, and I'm here with two men that have been a part of that legacy, a signature story of Mickey Jr. and Mickey Sr. You guys have an East Pennsboro legacy together. You have a Penn State legacy together. You have a Jets history together. Yours was a little shorter than his. You got to travel in the NFL a little bit. You got to stay put for a while. But I want to start with you, Junior. What's one memorable moment of being an East Pennsboro Panther?
I think there's a lot of good memories playing with your best friends here and everything, but one specific memory, my dad would probably remember this, was we were playing Gettysburg. They were number 3 in the state, and we were little East Pennsboro, not given a chance, and we ended up upsetting them in triple overtime. But just, all the memories you create playing high school football with your buddies, and we still talk about them today.
I bet. And Mickey Sr., I know you probably have a lot of memories in your career, but let's dial in on this East Pennsboro Panthers. What do you remember when you were a kid here growing up, and what did it mean back then to you?
Well, my father was a coach here. He coached on the football team that was undefeated on Squatter Pond. He coached the basketball team, coached golf, and encouraged me to play as many sports as possible. I remember walking off this field after every football game with my dad. He wasn't coaching me, but he was here. We'd meet and we'd walk up to the thing, and then I got to do that with my son while I was coaching him and walk off the field.
Football's a rough sport. I know it was probably a little easier you knocking people over, but seeing a son in a brutal sport like this taking the same path, was that hard sitting in the stands for you or no?
Well, what was hard was I could only tell him what I knew. Techniques and stuff were changing. You know, I had real basic and fundamental sound techniques, but some of the zone blocking, some of the stuff I couldn't really help him with. But what I could help him with was catching the ball and running and conditioning and strength training, all the things that help you play better at that level.
But what kind of dad really was he, Mickey Jr.?
He was a good dad. He was a real matter-of-fact dad, right? So I remember a specific memory back in track. I was winning the 110 hurdles and not winning the 300 hurdles. And he told me, he said, hey, you want to be a Division I athlete, you need to win them both. And it was just like things like that throughout my career, throughout high school. He just guided me. And, you know, hey, if you want to do this, I'm not going to do it for you, but I'll help you get there. And we worked out together. I mean, we were pretty inseparable. And my mom, you know, every sport, you know, all year round, doing stuff at home, doing stuff here. They were my coaches kind of throughout. So
at the beginning, after his sophomore year in football, he came in and he was the last man off the basketball JV squad. And he shouldn't have been there. And I told him, I said, look, we're going to train a little bit. So we trained in our gym, in our garage. And then he would pull down with a weight on a pull-down machine with a basketball. And he'd bring it down, put it up, bring it down, put it up. Then we'd go out and we'd practice a little bit and stuff. And then finally somebody didn't want to play on a Christmas tournament. And the head coach said, hey, by that time he's playing JVs. And he says, I'm going to bring you up to the varsity. I'll get you some playing time.
There you go.
So the kid comes out and goes in, and he comes in and he dunks the ball and a thing, and like the whole everybody in the stands, and went a ton of people there, but everybody's like, holy cow. And I knew he had it in him, but I'd never dunked in high school because I couldn't do it.
You know, your dad had a tremendous history. 2 years All-Pro, 14 years in the NFL, 400 catches, 37 touchdowns. When did it dawn on you that that's your dad?
You know, I really didn't appreciate that till later in life, because growing up he was your dad, right? You still have your son father things where, you know, hey, he's telling you, but you kind of know better. But it's really later in life, and getting to go back to some of the Jets games and stuff, and just hearing the people, they still know him, still love him. And you're like, man, he was pretty good good player.
Mickey Schuler Sr. and Jr. were here to speak to your team. As a coach, you're trying to continue to build this program. How did you feel seeing him give that kind of advice to your guys?
Well, I mean, so first off, we've been blessed in this 100 years with tremendous coaches, players, and there's been just so many high-quality people that have come through. And, you know, the Schuler's impact on this program is just, it's immeasurable. I mean, the greatest players that we've ever had here, and just great people. And, you know, so to have them come out and speak to the kids, and, you know, even in 5 minutes, just a little bit of advice and wisdom, it matters.
So hopefully the team can get a win tonight, but if not, today this was a win for me, and hopefully a win for a community to understand this father-son relationship. It's blessed a lot of people, and we continue to hope for great things down the road for East Pennsboro Panthers.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
In the dynamic world of construction, Groff Tractor and Equipment stands as your trusted John Deere and Workin' dealer. With our extensive range of construction sales and rentals, we provide the equipment you need to tackle any project. But our commitment doesn't stop there. Our comprehensive parts and service departments are there to make sure your equipment is operating at its best, minimizing downtime and maximizing productivity. Our dedicated technicians ensure your equipment operates at peak performance. Our technician internship opportunities provide a pathway to a successful career. Learn from skilled professionals and grow with us. Trust, reliability, and exceptional service. That's Groff Tractor and Equipment. Stop by, give us a call, or visit our website today for more information. Groff Tractor and Equipment, your #1 source for everything under construction.
What are you doing?
Getting the money for the RV we've been wanting. I know you're in there, money.
They're saying we can get a line of credit based on what we've already paid into our home.
Oh, that's pretty clever. Huh? No harm done.
Borrow from your home with our FlexLock line of credit. Have better conversations with your money with F&M Trust.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
You may recycle your electronics, appliances, and mercury thermostats at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
In addition to 8 local drop-off sites for recyclable materials.
Recycling matters in Dauphin County.
Since 2001, Dauphin County has recycled over 10,000 tons of electronics.
And 1.6 million tons of recyclables like cardboard and plastics.
Keep up the great work.
Bring it on!
And welcome back to York Suburban High School. It is the Rose Bowl tonight, right here in York, Pennsylvania, where it is the right Rose City. But so far, everything has not come up roses for the Trojans as they're down 30-0. East Penn looking great here in the first half. East Pennsboro celebrating their 100th year of football. And I'll tell you what, they haven't played the ball better in 100 years than they did tonight. I'm Gary Sutton, alongside me, Bill Chase and Evan Brooks. And let's take a look right now at our Capital Blue Cross and AT&T first half stats. But before that, let's get to our Capital Region first half highlights. And there were a bunch of them if we're on the East Pennsboro side of the ball. They look dynamite here in the first half, guys. And here you go. They start out right away with this little handoff inside, and blasting over is Sanderson for the opening touchdown.
Yeah, not a better way to start than getting the opening drive, opening touchdown, first drive of the season. They look good.
And then this guy, J.J. Gossard, who looked dynamite in the first half, had a couple of touchdowns, one via the long run, one via the short. Otis was almost perfect, and here's that other run by Gossard. Take a look at this off the pass.
Yeah, this was just a little swing pass. I don't think he was the intended receiver there. They had trips to the side the play went to, and they cleared everything out, and he just snuck out there and great run.
44 yards the end zone. And then this guy with a big foot, Mr. Ali Alami, showing you a 30-yard field goal. And then he came back and kicked off and kicked flat into a guy. They got the ball back again and marched on down. And there's Otis, who was Mr. Everything in the first half on the offensive, defensive side of the ball, crashing in from 2 yards out for a touchdown. 30-0 here at the half. On our Capital Blue Cross and AT&T first half stats, well, take a look so far. Some of the numbers look kind of even, but then it kind of gets crooked real quick, Bill.
Well, look at the 3 turnovers on York Suburban side. East Penn has had short fields 2 or 3 times to go in for scores. Now, I'm not saying that York Suburban is equal to East Pennsboro. East Pennsboro is clearly the better team in the first half, and the score is deserved. But when you're giving short fields like that, it's very hard to come back from.
Evan, you look at the passing as well. We talked about the poise of Otis in the first half. Talk a little bit about that passing and what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, he's seeing the field very well, hitting his main guys, Brecken Swope and number 5, Trey Good. They're getting open early and often, and when you're a quarterback and you have trust in those guys, it's hard to not go to them. So
Bill,
passing game looks good.
Yeah, and one of the things that East Pennsboro was able to do, I thought, defensively in the first half was to make it very, very difficult for Bratton to really set his feet. He got a couple passes here at the end of the half, but Otis was not uncomfortable the whole first half. He pretty much picked his target anytime he wanted to go.
Yeah, the comparison of the 2 quarterbacks, Otis has just been comfortable. Bracken has not been, although he throws a good ball. The 2 balls I saw him throw at the end of the half, there were really, really nice tight spirals, good release. The one thing I would say about Otis, I like the way he throws outside the hash, outside the numbers, or outside the hashes. I haven't seen him really that accurate inside. I need to see him throw a little better in some tight windows before I'm convinced
he threw it a little high in
100%.
the first half, which is the one thing. If he had anything wrong, I mean, he played a great first half. If he had anything wrong, he threw it a little bit high. So now let's take the two coaches. Josh Fry starting the second half of York Suburban. What are you saying to your players right now? Obviously, you're happy to get the halftime, but you're now having to reset for a second half.
Well, you're going to get the ball. You'd like to see a good, solid drive go down and just see what happens. They just make so many mistakes. They can't protect the quarterback. I think they can throw the ball, but they can't protect the quarterback. And Evan and I noticed, like, his eyes are looking at the rush and not downfield, and that's a killer for a quarterback and for a team.
Absolutely. I mean, they tried to go to that quick passing game a little bit before the half, and it worked. A couple little quick balls right over the middle of the field. So I expect them to come out, a couple quick passes, see if he can get in a little bit of a rhythm.
Evan, I'll give you the easy job. You're John Dennison to start second half. You're up 30-0. Your team just played all but a flawless first half. What are you saying to your kids right now? It's the opening night. You don't want anybody to get too confident.
Of course.
And yet at the same time, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, of course. Going into camp, coming into the first game, you look pretty good. You just want to say, you guys just keep your foot on the pedal, keep doing what we're doing, keep looking good, keep playing for each other, and let's go finish this thing out.
Well, we're getting ready here for the Rose Bowl here, the big opening season challenge here this weekend. This is the second of 5 games this weekend. Of course, we'll be here tomorrow night again. York High and Harrisburg High in the 8:35 game. Can't wait for that one. We got to have to play you, though, yet tonight. And who knows? Maybe things can turn around for York Suburban. For East Penn, they're hoping more of the same. We'll get ready to start the second half right after this. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
What's the deal, y'all? It's your boy Big Star Raw Sports here, man. I'm super excited that I'm partnering with my guy Charlie Fortney and Advanced Hoops, man, for an amazing NBA-style combine training that's coming to the Harrisburg area, man. If anybody wants to register for a spot, I'll be pre-approving. So you guys know where to find me at. You can find me on Instagram at Raw Sports Films, on Twitter at Big Star Raw Sport, on Facebook at Michael Starling. Reach out to me. I'll be pre-approving those rosters. By September 10th, it's going to be rocking and rolling, man. Make sure you guys tap in, get registered. Another cool thing about this experience is we're going to have, we couldn't have the beard in the building without, the cameras. They run synonymous. So I'll definitely be in the building, man, with the Raw Sports Media Day as a part of the whole combine, like you see on TV. I'll be pulling guys aside, doing some interviews, taking some headshots, and I'm always looking for talent, for the upcoming high school hoop season, man. So besides you guys doing the skills and drills, I'll definitely be out here looking for talent, doing the whole media thing as well.
On September 10th, we're going to be testing for the vertical jump, NBA lane agility, NBA obstacle course ball handling, percentage shooting spots, and more. 5-on-5, 1-on-1. Why not take advantage of all these top players being in the gym to get a chance to get after it? It's a 3-hour training window on Sunday afternoon, September 10th, the whole way right up before basketball season. We'll test the first week and the 10th week. Our coaches are ready to make something happen.
Well, I'll be putting together some of Advanced Hoops top trainers. These guys are former high school coaches and former college coaches. So we'll be in the gym getting these guys together for these 10 weeks. Make sure that you guys sign up before September the 1st so you can get the skills and drills class for free.
You can also go to advancedhoops.com to register for any of our classes for all age groups. Post-training, shooting classes, little kid skill builders, but just make sure you get pre-approval from Big Star for the Raw Sports NBA Advanced Hoops Combine.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. We have millions of dollars in new and pre-owned inventory across 8 brands in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover. And we want to thank the local community for voting us the 2023 official Community's Choice Award Best of York and Hanover winner in 5 different categories. Come out today and find out why your friends and neighbors voted Giambalvo #1. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
You mean the world to us.
You sure do.
And one day, you'll need to take care of us just like we take care of you. We have goals to retire and travel, and you're a big part of those plans.
I don't think they understand.
Maybe I'm just not good at this.
Our investment and trust services team helps you plan for the future. Have better conversations with your money with F&M Trust.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
And welcome back to York Suburban High School here. It's 30-0 at the half as we continue with our Jackson Valvo halftime report. And a lot of scores coming in tonight. But, you know, Bill, let me get back. Opening night of football. You've been a coach for a long time, and you're retired now. But, you know, you've coached a number of teams over the years. What was it like on opening night? Getting ready for the season, and have things changed now at all in the way people get ready? Your thoughts on that?
Well, they've changed from the concept of I was in the era of two scrimmages, and we always used that second scrimmage as more of a first game. When I was at Redland, we would go down and scrimmage Southwestern every year in the second scrimmage, and we played it a game condition. Thankfully, it never really counted because they'd kick the snot out of us a lot of times in those scrimmages. But we always had an agreement with them. We'd play a full game, and we felt prepared then for our first game. It's really, really difficult, I think. Heat acclimation isn't the same, and having one scrimmage is not the same as having 2 full weeks of 2-a-days and 2 scrimmages. It's just not.
Evan, as a player, from your vantage point, the opening game of the season, you know, the anticipation, you're coming out of summer, you're going through camp, you're getting ready to go back to school, maybe you're back in school now, the whole routine has changed. Talk about that from your vantage point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're amped up. You're amped up. It's the first game of the season. You're always ready to hit the field and hit somebody else, like Mr. Bill was saying. You know, those scrimmages can only bring out so much. You know, you use those to tune up and everything like that. But, you know, once you hit the field, you know, you're ready to play and make your mark on the season, especially the first game of the year. So, you know, really toning down those emotions and locking into the game is huge for these players. You
know, we talk about Enola and we talk about East Pennsboro High School, and we talk about 100 years of football. Back 100 years ago, they were Enola High School. They weren't East Pennsboro back then. And September 25th, they're going to be playing Gettysburg. That's the official date of their first game, September 25th. So, you know, a lot of history there. Boy, you think about football being around for 100 years at a school. It would be interesting to go back and just see how many people remember all the names that occurred during that time. What a history.
Well, my question to you is, did you call that first game?
Well, I'll tell you what. I coached the state championship at Columbia High School, and we celebrated our 100 years of basketball a few years ago, and it was really interesting for me to walk back through the decades and see guys that were around back then that I had read about or I'd studied and I'd seen film of. And, you know, you have a real respect for the history of the game. And all these little towns and schools along the river, like Enola, like a Columbia, like a Steele High or a Harrisburg High even, you know, there's great history there. And it's just fun to be able to celebrate that right now. It's just part of it. And, of course, for York Suburban, they've had some great teams here over the years. Up here on the hill. As we said, one of the oddities that happened up here the other day, up on Southern Road and Mount Rose Avenue, they saw what they thought were big cats up here. And that has been the story of the last couple of days, and no one's quite sure what they were. There were whispers of mountain lions, but, of course, nobody says there's any mountain lions in Pennsylvania, just Nittany lions. But, you know, so no one's quite sure. Bill saw the pictures as well, and some guys said, well, it looks more like a big cat. I'll tell you what, if that was my cat, he'd be taking me for a walk at night, not me taking him out. So, anyway, we're getting ready to start second half here. 30-0. East Pennsboro, it was all them in the first half. They're going to kick it off in the second half, and Suburban will receive the football. And I thought Suburban started to get a little bit of a passing game going there at the end of the half, Bill.
Well, it's going to come down to protection for York Suburban. So let's see what happens on this first drive, what they want to accomplish. And they're going to get good field position right from the get-go.
Yeah, they sure are. The ball goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line, bring it out to 35, so they get good field possession. And so far tonight, York Suburban's average drive started on their own 27-yard line. East Pennsboro's average drive started on the York Suburban 45-yard line.
And that's how you win games.
Yeah. And the last three East Pennsboro drives have started in York Suburban territory. So York Suburban gets a chance here now to start marching right away with the football.
See, and I like the way that East Pennsboro started the game. They got Otis comfortable with a couple of quick little passes. Quarterback always wants to start, with a completion or two, and he gets in a little bit of rhythm. I'd like to see them do that with Bratton here, where the pressure maybe won't get to him as quickly. But they are pressing them on the outside, so it makes it tough.
The ball at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 here for York Suburban. A high snap again. Inside handoff. Nice run again. They begin some nice slashes over that left side.
Now, if you notice the halftime stats, the rushing yards were equal.
Yeah.
You wouldn't suspect that to be the case, but they were equal. But only at 44 yards to 43 yards. It's not like either team was running the ball effectively.
And C.J. Rissmiller doing the majority of the work right there. Taza Sweeney had a couple nice carries, but second down now and 3. Another look straight forward, pounding forward for maybe 1. Not a whole lot there. Again, good surge up front by East Pennsboro, and you saw in on that particular tackle, Hamard Lombard for the Panthers.
With the corners pressing right now, East Penn maybe want to change up the defense, work on something for next week, maybe or later down the season. I'd like to see the Trojans try to throw it over top of their heads when they're pressing like that, maybe see if the receivers can win and you can win a goal ball.
You could throw a little hitch out here on the near side here.
Here's that handoff again. It's loose on the ground. Can you get to it? And did East Pennsboro get to it before it got out of bounds? The official saying, yes, they did. And East Pennsboro with yet another pickup on a turnover here on a fumble. Is just some sloppy ball handling there tonight by York Suburban so far. Tough night.
All of their fumbles have been almost carbon copies of one another. It's almost like the quarterback's trying to ride it into the belly and they knock it. They get penetration.
Let's take a look at it again right here and see what happened. And let's take a look and see if maybe he was out of bounds and recovered. Yes, he was. Now, the question was, did he grab it and roll over inbounds? Or roll over from inbounds.
Well,
cover it inbounds and roll over out. I couldn't quite see that angle. Our great camera work there by our victory crew.
I can promise you we're not going to review it.
No, we're not. So here's Otis.
Now, do they go for something here? Yes.
Receivers back. Yeah, there. Out the trips. You get good out there. Good trying to break loose. And will not be able to do so. Good read on that particular play by York Suburban out there.
East Pennsboro really likes that bunch set, whether it's to the field side or the field side or the near side.
Nice tackle by Stephen Bowman there, number 6 for York Suburban.
Yeah, and they've had success with that 2 or 3 times, Evan. That time, good play by the York Suburban.
Bowman like a dog on a bone there. He's not letting go.
It makes it easy for the quarterback, too, when you have that bunch set to the field or a boundary.
Second down and 9 for the 40. Sorry about that, Evan.
No, you're good.
So here we go. See what East Pennsboro does. Maybe a little Gossard here. And timeout by Otis. He didn't like something he saw.
Yeah, they were running out of time.
We'll take a timeout as well. 30-0, 9:57 to go here in the third quarter. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
Charlie Fortney, for over 20 years, has trained players in shooting and basketball. No one does it better than Charlie. He has trained over 25 Division I players and over 300 college-level players. The tradition continues this fall
To get a spot in Charlie's fall shooting classes, go to advancedhoops.com. Charlie Fortney was in here tonight. Did a great job in that interview with Mickey Schuler. So here is East Pennsboro now. Ball at the 40, second down and 9. Man goes in motion for a moment there. That's Sanderson. And here's Slope with the carry, and no one fooled again that time. Good defense again. And that is Rissmiller up there, who's had a solid game tonight, both offensively and defensively, Evan.
Yeah, he has. He's playing both sides of the ball really, really tough, running the ball from the running back position and coming up from the safety position as well. So
yeah, he ran the alley there from the safety position, and Clay, he saw the play develop, and he just exploded through the alley.
Hasn't been a lack of effort from the Trojans at all tonight.
No,
not at all.
And they're still playing hard here. I mean, it's it's your opening night. You're learning. You're gelling. So you got doubles both sides here. Kind of interesting look. Otis back. Otis looks. Otis dancing out of there. Otis going to run himself, or is he? And overthrew again. And Bill, that's what you were talking about tonight. Is throwing a little bit high, maybe not throwing quite on target sometimes. So that's maybe been the only flaw all night he's had in his game.
Yeah, and as I've stated before, it's not easy playing linebacker and quarterback. And when you're just a full-time quarterback, you're on the sidelines, you're talking to your offensive coordinator,
right?
You're thinking, hey, did you see this? Let's do that. But when you're in the game full-time, and especially playing linebacker, it's a tough chore.
Well, and it's almost like, too, he's deciding, am I running, am I passing? He didn't really let go with the full motion there. So that's something, too, for him in the opening game. Here's Good. Boy, has Good been a bomber with that couple punts he's hit tonight. Look at this. All the way down into the end zone. But I'll tell you what, Mr. Good, Trey Good, is having an outstanding night tonight punting the football.
It kind of almost opens up to that whole left side and then comes across his body to kick the ball.
Almost looks like a goalie kicking the soccer ball out there.
Yeah, it's not a true rugby style kick, but he opens up and then it's not.
Yeah, kind of a half roll.
Yeah.
So York Suburban's going to get it back here with 8:56 to go in the third quarter. Again, not on the board yet tonight.
And it would be easy to understand where East Pennsboro's probably lost a little bit of their intensity.
Right.
You're up 30-0. You have the game in hand.
Yeah.
Got some new uniforms in the game
so
now.
You've seen some things not quite as sharp as you did in the first half.
And again, there's a coach, you're thinking, I don't want to run it up, and yet at the same time, it's the opening game. I want to make sure we institute good habits. Another handoff, Rissmiller forward. Rissmiller out over the 20-yard line, out near the 22 or so.
Now, the traditional coaching used to be that when you're up a score like this, multiple scores, play your team play them 3 quarters, start to sub a little bit in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Don't let things get out of hand. There's a big difference between JV kids and varsity kids, so you can't completely sub.
Yeah, get some guys who may not, get in tight game situations, some reps, and see what they can do.
Second down and 7 for the 23-yard line here. Bratlin looking to throw. Bratlin out in the flat. Nice sidearm throw. Has his man out there. Down the sideline he goes. First down out near the 38-yard line. So nice pitch and catch by Bratlin as he dropped down sidearm and kind of threw that one.
This kid can throw the football.
Yeah.
The ball comes out of his hands quickly, and it's tight.
Well, he hit Aiden Lubadika there with that pass, and Lubadika may turn it into a first down, so a little hope here for York Suburban, trying to get something going, and maybe they'll start to pass the ball and open it up a little bit more.
Quick, comfortable throws for the quarterback, like you said, Bill and Gary. He can throw the ball, so let's see if he can, pick them apart maybe a little bit with just a short passing game and get in a rhythm.
Yeah, almost 1,500 yards passing last year, so a guy who's already proven he can do some of this. Here comes the blitz, and there it is, big Josh Angelo coming right on through. I'll tell you what, that guy is a load, 6'1", 230, but active.
Bratton caught the ball. There was no play fake even that time. He caught the ball, he looked, and Angelo was right there in his face.
So Angelo blasts on through from the right-hand side and turns in a huge play. He and Aaron Angelo, who had 700-some yards last year, his brother.
So now as a quarterback, you every time you get the ball now and a pass play is called, you start to wonder.
Are they coming?
Yeah.
Second down 17. Is there someone accounting for them? And they're stunning up there on the front of that line. You're seeing people dancing all over the place in white uniforms. Did they stun a little too much, or did they get York Suburban to move? I think they stunned a little too much.
Offsides against East Pennsboro. Again, not a whole lot of mistakes for them tonight. If anything, some of the over-exuberant kind of variety.
Yeah, they played a clean game thus far, and don't want to let that get away from you when you're up like this. You start to nitpick at the little things, and little penalties like that could hurt you later down the line in the season. So,
coming up at the end of the game, we got Capital Blue Cross post-game report, including the Hoffman Ford Player of the Game, Capital Region Insurance Agency Play of the Game, and we have a lot to talk about. And right now, we got a lot to talk about in this play for York Suburban because they have got a big yardage gain on this one, all the way down into East Pennsboro territory, and York Suburban on the move.
Yeah, Angelo stunted to the outside that time, and nobody filled where he was, and they ran it right where Angelo had vacated.
You take a look here again. This guy's had a heck of a night. Rissmiller right down the middle, and I mean, he is quick. I'll tell you, he's an outstanding little running back.
Yeah, he's been impressive for sure tonight, picking his holes well and playing hard, playing tough. You always want to see that in guys, no matter what the score is.
Maybe hasn't made you forget Mikey Bedavania yet, but, he's establishing his own identity right now. So 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line of East Pennsboro. 6:42 to go here in the third quarter. And a keeper this time by Bratton as he rolls around the right side, gets a little bit of a gain, and a flag is down on the field. Got holding against York Suburban. They're going to walk that one back. And Bratton had a man hold things up on that side to get him open around that corner. We've not seen a lot open to the outside so far tonight, Bill. I think that East Pennsboro has done a pretty good job of funneling that offense back to the middle.
Yeah, they've been pressing on the outside a lot. They go to a lot of too high safeties, so it's sometimes difficult to – when you go too high safeties, I always felt you needed to be able to run up the middle a little bit, and that's where they have been trying to attack. The outsides are hard to run against.
Rissmiller with 15 rushes in the game so far for 57 yards tonight.
Corners pressing up for East Pennsboro right here.
So it's 1st down and 20 now. Ball at the 46. Near side, good run. Slashing across down to the 40-yard line is Rissmiller again, and Rissmiller continues to add on yardage.
On the stop, number 71, Josh Angelo.
And it seems like, as Josh Fry goes forward with this team, Bill, that you're going to mix in the balance a little bit more with that passing game, which looks like it could be pretty good, and also the running of Rissmiller and maybe a secondary option there as well. What do you see in that?
Yeah, I mean, we said they were big up front, and they are, but it just seems like East Pennsboro is a little classier up front than they are, a little more physical.
Here's Sweeney, Taja Sweeney, a sophomore ball loose again. Look out, and it's picked up again. This could be a touchdown. Wow. Funny things happen when the ball bounces a certain way. That might be the play of the game. I don't know. Sweeney going into the line, had it knocked loose again. It looked like another fumble, but there he was. Rylan Bratton just picking up a loose ball and taking it home for the touchdown.
That ball went 20 yards backwards. That's how hard he was hit.
Got to see that one again. That's maybe the more interesting play of the night.
Crazy bounce right there on the left side, open. Everybody, going after the ball, pops up in Bratton's hands, and he takes advantage.
Okay. So there you go. One of the weirdest plays you'll maybe see. Franco Harris had nothing on these guys with the immaculate reception, right? This was the immaculate fumble. So Rylan Bratton with the first score of the night here, and he scores at the 5:37 mark of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, don't think Coach drew it up like that, but I'm sure he'll take it at this point.
Yeah. I'm going to go for 2 here. Straight back goes Bratton. Bratton looking. Bratton throws. Incomplete. And so 30-6, York Suburban on the board at the 5:37 mark of the third quarter. We'll take a break. We'll come back and maybe see that one again. All here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
Very good. Score remains. East Pennsboro 30, York Suburban 6.
You may recycle your electronics, appliances, and mercury thermostats at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
In addition to 8 local drop-off sites for recyclable materials.
Recycling matters in Dauphin County.
Since 2001, Dauphin County has recycled over 10,000 tons of electronics.
And 1.6 million tons of recyclables like cardboard and plastics.
Keep up the great work.
Bring it on!
Well, Ryland Bratton in with a play that I doubt Josh Fry drew up. But he threw they had Sweeney going through the middle, Taza Sweeney, and all of a sudden the ball got knocked loose, got knocked back like 20 yards, bounced right into the arms of Ryland Bratton, the quarterback, who was standing there and said, hey, look what I found, and took off the end zone and scored. So 30-6 with 5:37 to go here in the third quarter. And York Suburban will kick it off here. Lopez kicking it down and covered up by East Pennsboro down at the 32-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Covering that up for East Pennsboro was Caleb Stone. And so we'll see what they have in mind here. And Bill, you know, you're in that point now. It's 30-6. Just had a team score on you. You got the ball. It's first game of the season. You got an agenda here that you're looking at. What's the agenda for John Dennison right now?
Well, it's hard to regain momentum. Like, they came out maybe a little flat in the second half based on the score. As I said earlier, the intensity not quite there. You'd like to try to recapture that, but it's easier said than done. It's just not an easy thing to do. So let's see how they do here.
But a little steady diet of Gossard. Here he goes. Gossard hit right there up after about a 3-yard gain, and he's taken by Patrick Glennon, who's had a pretty solid game tonight for York Suburban.
Yeah, I don't think York Suburban's played horribly on defense.
Right, especially against the run.
They fumbled 5 times on offense. Now, one of them they ended up scoring a touchdown on for themselves, but you know those are 4 turnovers that are just killers. And you're giving the ball in your own territory.
2nd down and 8 from the 35-yard line. Spread offense here. Nobody in the backfield except for Otis. And he's got his pick of people out there. And again, who's he got? Good. Racing down the sideline. Good. Inside the 30. Down near the 25. Down near the 20. Where he's finally out of bounds. They're going to say stepped out just inside the 30-yard line at about the 28. So, again, take your pick. You had 5 receivers out that time.
Yeah, you had an empty set. And basically what you're looking for is who's not covered.
Yeah.
Right.
And
who has the best match.
Yeah.
It's like a 5-on-4 situation. You got to account for everybody all of a sudden, and they didn't do it, and there it is. And I'll tell you what, when he gets the football, Trey Good is quite a wily runner.
I was going to say, not a bad option to get it to him. We've seen what he can do all night, making
plays.
plays.
They are the spread again to either side with one sidecar in the backfield. That's Gossard to Otis, and the handoff to Gossard. Open up that middle. You know, you watch, it's interesting when you watch college football and high school football, Bill, how many times you spread it out and people think, well, it's a passing play. It really sets up well for the one-on-one kind of matchups running inside.
Well, those are the schemes that have come into football over the last decade or more. You have quarterbacks that can run. They're an extra guy in the backfield. You don't need 2 backs in the backfield anymore. You have a quarterback and a running back, and generally the quarterback can run these days.
Of course, you get a lot of nice trap plays in there on the inside and so forth. 4 receptions so far in the game now for Good for 103 yards. How's that? He's made him count here tonight. Averaging over 20 yards a catch. Straight back. On the roll, looking for the end zone. He's got his man again and not quite able to hook up that time with Brecken Swope. But a nice concept.
Yeah, just simple rollout.
And the only guy that could catch that ball was going to be Swope.
Absolutely, just simple rollout.
Yeah,
like a little
East Penn's been able to seal the corner whenever they want to get Otis outside.
So it'll be 3rd down now. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. 3rd and 6. And they're still working on their passing game. They're still working on, achieving some of that balance I'm sure Coach Dennison wants tonight. 3 receivers far side again. 1 near side. He's got Swope here one-on-one. He looks right, and then he comes back to Swope again. He's got the one-on-one, and Swope was not on the same page. He looked left at the trips, came back to the single setup for Swope, and Swope just missed where he was supposed to be.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Otis is cramping up a little bit.
Yeah, he's walking off there and a little bit under duress.
Now this is the first night of a 2-day
Swope looked a little tired on that route. Didn't run that one as hard as he.
Yeah, you can see him over there right now. You can see the backs of the ankles. He'll get down there and get those toes turned up and get some water in. There he goes. Yeah, he's played a heck of a game tonight.
So I was going to say, in this situation, I think you go for it. It's not a punting situation,
right,
and it's a 40-yard field goal. So Who's your backup?
Penn Bearcats against Harrisburg.
Yeah, kind of in that gray area, too close to punt, too far maybe for a field goal.
And what are you doing? There's just a handoff, or are you?
Well, I think it depends how confident you are in your backup quarterback.
We're going to see who that's going to be here in a moment.
I mean, they have schemes. They have schemes in their passing game. It looks like where they have pitch and catch. When they empty out, they're looking for the best matchup, as Evan had said earlier. And sometimes that best matchup is, maybe the number 2 receiver, the inside receiver. Guy's 10 yards off you.
Well, they got Turner Barlop, who is a sophomore, and then they've got Alex Costa, who's a quarterback, who's a freshman.
Well, Otis is back up, so I'm guessing he's coming back in.
Just needed to get some water in him and get those toes bent back, and there he is. You can watch him walking right now. It's a little stiff.
And if I were them, I'd go to that empty set and look for the 6-yard hitch or something like that. There's gonna be somebody that the defender is going to be off them. They're not going to be pressing 5 across.
Last time they set up that wide set with 5, they just basically ran lanes, ran compartments, and they had their choice of whoever they wanted.
So here's your empty set.
Yep. There you have the 5 receivers out.
And
who's unaccounted for?
You should throw to the inside guy here, number 3, right there. He should have turned around.
And there it is. An interception, York Suburban. There is Otis taking him down, but the momentum has turned here a bit as York Suburban with the interception there. It was John Glennon, who's had an outstanding game here tonight. John Glennon, a 6'2" senior, out of his linebacker spot, picking it off. And so with the football now, York Suburban.
Yeah, East Pennsboro had what they wanted there. The number 3 receiver, number 31, I think it was, Paul Sanderson, he only had to run like a 6-yard hitch. He kept running downfield.
Otis is down in the field there with those cramps. I really
he had to sprint to come and get the interception.
So they're pushing down the toe. John Glennon, number 9, with the interception. And you'll see Otis down there. He had to bring it down. And, man, there's nothing that hurts like a cramp. We were down before the game tonight, Bill, and it was warm. We were starting to walk up here. You said, going to be some cramps tonight by about the 3rd or 4th quarter, and here you go.
Well, that's a given. That's a given in high school football early in the year where you have guys going 2 ways.
Yeah, first game of the year.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back here. This is High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. We have millions of dollars in new and pre-owned inventory across 8 brands in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stettler Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and Giambalvo Hyundai of Hanover. And we want to thank the local community for voting us the 2023 Official Community's Choice Award Best of York and Hanover winner in 5 different categories. Come out today and find out why your friends and neighbors voted Giambalvo number 1. The Jack Giambalvo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at giambalvo.com.
And Keith Otis up and getting off the field, albeit a little painfully right now. He's walking on his heels and just trying to get over there. And they'll get some water in him and stretch him a little bit and get him out. But there you see the Panthers tonight out there. And, the Panther Nation. And they are out in strength tonight here from East Pennsboro. So nice to see them out tonight, both sides, with some great student sections here.
A lot to cheer for tonight for the East Pennsboro guys, for sure.
So here's Suburban. See if they can get another touchdown here. They just had one a moment ago in a weird way. There's Rhys Miller. Rhys Miller slashing off the right side and upset right there by number 71, Josh Angelo. You hear his name called a lot tonight as he continues to pile up tackles. He was 230, a senior. He's part of that 4-year group that's been together here that shows so much maturity here this evening.
Yeah, C.J. Rissmiller is going to be a little sore tomorrow. He's carried the ball a lot, and he's gotten whacked a number of times. But he's a good running back.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try to get some numbers on Rissmiller here in a minute. He had 57 yards a few moments ago, but he's since raised that number. And Travis Sparks keeping his eye on that for us on the stats here tonight. Now everybody getting ready up along the line here to charge forward. But it's going to be illegal procedure, I think, against York Suburban first. Let's wait and see. Don't forget tomorrow night, York High and Harrisburg High here as part of the Rose Bowl.
There's no such thing.
The York Rose Bowl Kickoff Classic. And Harrisburg, of course, the finalists last year in the state championship in 6A. And, of course, York High, Coach Russ Stoner doing a great job with the Bearcats right here in the York area. They've been contenders here the last few years.
You talk about a crosstown rivalry. That one is definitely going to be.
It's going to be
as
interesting,
well.
yeah. Cal Everett and, of course, Russ Stoner and I've got Sean Lee tomorrow. I've got a chance to see him. He's really been developing, I understand, over the summer. Sean Lee Jr., his dad played for Penn State as well, and quarterback for Harrisburg High.
Yeah,
Harrisburg lost a bunch of really key kids last year, though, but they are always great up along the offensive line.
Absolutely.
So it is first down, 48-yard line. Rulin looking down, has his man broken up there by accident, but broken up nevertheless by Marcel Reed.
That was good coverage.
It really was. Marcel Reed step for step the whole way.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been seeing them press their corners a little bit, and, we got to see Marcel run with the wide receiver. That's what you want to see.
Evan, you were a defensive back, right?
Yeah, I was.
What's the mentality back there? You're one-on-one. What are you trying to do?
You just want to stick with your guy. Obviously you want the quarterback to look a different way and run step for step with your guy, read your keys, see what he's going to do, and to see if you can mirror his movements.
The third down. Here we go. He had his man. He had it open and could have gotten the first down on the run. Instead chose to throw, and they had it for a second, but dropped. So you got to think they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, they are, and I've always been a believer when it's 3rd and 1, get the first down. You get two chances. Now you're giving yourself one chance to get the first down.
And he easily had it here. Take a look at it. I mean, he had the first down if he wanted. He did. At least 7 yards of space there to get it, and
Ryan Potts with a big hit right there to jar the ball loose.
But you can watch Bratton here. He's getting a little bit more comfortable as the game progresses right now. Obviously, maybe not the same pressure they had earlier, but never let pressure. So Bratton dropped it at the line of scrimmage. Just as I said, he was getting comfortable. He drops it, and either way, it goes over to East Pennsboro here.
See, and there's the situation where, run the ball on 3rd down. Get the first down, get 4 more downs.
Get yourself less stress.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a stress right there, and again, another guy down the field looks like another set of cramps maybe starting to happen.
Yeah, I think we're going to see more of this. I was taking a nap the other day and cramped up.
You see that toe going down. They're lifting up the leg again. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. This is High School Sports Live TV.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Raw Sports and Advanced Hoops are teaming up to bring an NBA-style training combine to South Central PA. Players will be approved by Big Star from Raw Sports. This combine features skills and drills tests, media day with Big Star, and 10 weeks of training. High school boys and high school girls who want pushed to the max can check out the top Advanced Hoops trainers and sign up right now at advancedhoops.com. That's advancedhoops.com. So we're getting ready to come back here, and cramps being taken care of. It's interesting, Otis is back into the game now after having cramped up, and he's been treated on the sideline. So Otis is going to have the football here.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see him on defense again.
I was just going to say that. You read my mind, Mr. Bill. I was going to say.
You kind of get the impression that maybe John Dennison wants to reestablish the offensive prowess here a bit. So he's got Gossard there who gets slammed right at the line of scrimmage. And again, the defense tonight has been pretty good here for this York Suburban team. It's been the one shining light throughout the evening.
Yeah, they have not given up a lot of rush yards. And again, I'd like to see what the game would be if I take away the turnovers.
Clarence Cashar leading the charge on that one for the Trojans. So second down now, no gain on the play. So it'll be 10. 49-yard line of York Suburban. Same group in the backfield in the eye. 2 receivers far side. And you're going to get offsides, I think, against East Pennsboro, or make that York Suburban again. We'll wait and see. Was there movement on the line for East Pennsboro?
Well, the guy who threw the flag wouldn't be able to tell that York Suburban jumped off sides. Although the line judge on East Penn side did throw a flag.
Swope Brecken was out there, and there it was. Swope Brecken, I think, was maybe off sides, and that's why we didn't see it right up on the line.
Now, being week one, these are the kind of mistakes
Look at the top of the screen. There you go.
You're going to see.
Yeah, your receiver, inside receiver, left early.
Both of these teams will be way better next week.
Right. Yeah, you're going to learn from your mistakes.
As will all the other 500 teams in the state.
What do they say, Bill? The biggest improvement is from week 1 to week 2.
Here's the pitch
They
back
do
to
say
Gossard.
that.
Gossard.
I don't know who said it, but they do.
Cut down again, and it's Rissmiller with a submarine there. And Rissmiller, talk about a guy who could be considered for the Hoffman Ford Player of the Game tonight. How about Rissmiller on both sides of the ball?
He's been impressive. He's been very impressive. Like I said, coming down, filling the alley from the safety position, and then obviously running the ball hard as a running back. So he's playing his heart out tonight.
Nice tackle there.
If I'm East Pennsboro, I am not happy the way I've run the ball.
No. And take a look here. And there's Rissmiller coming through. Nice job of occupying the blocker up front there, though, by number 54, Tyrese Carr.
Yeah, Rissmiller's only a 10th grader.
Yes, he is, and he's quick. Again, we'll take a break. We'll come right back. Players down the field, we're getting a lot of that right now, some cramping up and some injuries. We'll be back here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2. It's 30-6. East Penn leads it.
What are you doing?
Getting the money for the RV we've been wanting. I know you're in there, money.
They're saying we can get a line of credit based on what we've already paid into our home.
Oh, that's pretty clever. Huh, no harm done.
Borrow from your home with our FlexLock line of credit. Have better conversations with your money with F&M Trust.
For over 20 years, Charlie Fortney is training players in shooting a basketball with advanced hoops. No one does it better than Charlie Fortney. He's trained over 25 Division I players and over 300 college-level players. Now, the tradition continues this fall. To get a spot in Charlie's fall shooting classes, go to advancedhoops.com. That's advancedhoops.com. Charlie Fortney, one of the outstanding shooters, played at Steel High and then UNC, I believe, Wilmington, and just an outstanding player. But a guy who understands the game so well. And, of course, hard to believe we'll be talking about basketball sooner than not. Hard to believe we're talking about football here tonight in August. But opening night of football, lots happening out there. And I know Fox 43 has been Football Frenzy, Evan, and you're right dead center of that. Talk a little bit about that this year.
Yeah, we're excited. We're excited to be back. The first week of the season, we go on from 6 to 6:30 for our pregame show, and then we have our Frenzy highlight show at 11, which is always a blast. So the Frenzy is back, and we're excited, and we can't wait to cover the whole entire area this season for high school football.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And you guys cover the whole area, is right. You get out there in York, Lancaster,
yes,
Harrisburg, you name it. You guys are covering it somewhere, and no one does it better than Fox 43, and we're so proud to be associated with Fox 43 on the Fox 43.2 channel here, where we bring you High School Sports Live TV, the game of the week, every single week for 11 weeks this fall. Well, we're finally back to ready to play football here again, and the situation is this: 1:25 to go in the third quarter. 30-6, East Pennsboro leads it. It's third down and 16, ball at the 44-yard line for East Pennsboro. And, Bill, you said it. They've not been able to regain that momentum they had early in the first half, where they just kind of had it their way any way they wanted to do it, and now it's been tough to find anything going on right.
Going back to that empty set, which has worked so well for them all night. Not shocked by that at all. We'll see if Otis can pick the matchup he likes best and get a first down here.
Well, look for Hunter Good in this, or maybe Brecken Swope. They seem to be the two favorite targets that they go to. And they seem to always find a way to get open somewhere. Otis straight back. Otis right at the middle. Otis into the pocket, has his man down there, and it was Hunter Good, and he was open but got overthrown again. And make that Brecken Swope, rather. I said Hunter Good, Brecken Swope, who was open, just overthrown. So that's been kind of a pattern tonight so far for Otis, that he's been overthrowing his receivers a lot.
He's had some open receivers.
Is that just timing, Bill, the opening game?
Well, again, as I've expressed before, it's hard being a two-way player and play quarterback at a high level. I think he can.
Here's Good with that little side, and Good just taking his time, taking a chance there, and then bombing one. And Good with another big high kick. Tell you what, no returns tonight so far on any of his punts.
All right.
No, not at all. That means he's doing his job.
And he's wily. You see him there running. Anybody going to stop me? Geez, maybe I'll run. Okay, now I'll kick it. So, Mr. Good is pretty good at having some poise there. Trey Good.
Yeah, but back to that quarterback question. I've always believed a quarterback isn't going to reach his full potential as a quarterback if he's a full two-way player.
Okay.
If you remember last year, Cumberland Valley, Isaac Sines was probably their best corner, their best defensive back, but they knew he was so valuable at quarterback as well that they didn't use him unless they really had to. Some games he didn't play, but sometimes he went in the secondary. But he was their best corner, but they knew that he was more valuable as a full-time quarterback.
Absolutely.
Well, here's York Suburban now. They've got double receivers, near side, single receiver far side.
Wow.
And there again, we've called that number a few times today, haven't we? Josh Angelo again just making his presence known back there and blowing up the play.
Angelo moves really well for a big kid. Gary and I, we talked about this before the game. I think at North, they used him at fullback for a little bit in one of the games that we did last year. They didn't give him the ball, but he lined up at fullback in front of his brother, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah, I've been impressed with his movement for sure, especially, like you said, Bill, being a bigger guy. So.
That's the end of the third quarter. It's 30-6. We head to the fourth. It's East Pennsboro 30, York Suburban 6, all here on High School Sports Live TV on Fox 43.2.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
The Jack G and Bobo family of dealerships. We have millions of dollars in new and pre-owned inventory across 8 brands in 5 locations. Buick GMC, Hyundai, Mazda, Stettler, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and G and Bobo Hyundai of Hanover. And we want to thank the local community for voting us the 2023 Official Community's Choice Award Best of York and Hanover winner in 5 different categories. Come out today and find out why your friends and neighbors voted G and Bobo #1. The Jack G and Bobo family of dealerships. 5 great locations. Online at gmbobo.com.
And we start the fourth quarter here. It is the Rose Bowl, the York Rose Bowl here tonight. Kickoff Classic. It's played right here in the White Rose City of York, Pennsylvania. York Suburban High School. Be second down now and 13 from the 21-yard line for York Suburban. Pass over the middle for a short gain there to Rissmiller. And getting some of that lost yardage back, but not a whole lot. So bring up third down and 11.
Yeah, see, if I'm a 160-pound receiver, I don't want him closing on me at full speed.
No, not at all. That does not feel good. And take a quick look at the linebacker position. Look who's back out there, number 9.
No way.
Otis right in the middle of the field. Rolling near side, throw across there. Tucking, and again, broken up nicely on the play with Paul Sanderson with the tackle. Paul Sanderson up out of his linebacker spot. So the offensive surge is snuffed very quickly here by East Pennsboro, and York Suburban will have to kick it out of there. So it'll be Donovan Alicia to punt the ball out.
Trey Good back to receive, see if he can make it another explosive play. He's had plenty of them tonight, so why not add one more?
Pretty good kick this time. What a bomb. I mean, this is the spiral you dream about. Look at that. Although it's coming back the wrong direction for Suburban, you want to stop it right there. Boy, what a bomb that was. And he's coming up lane. Your punter just coming off the field there, kind of hopping off. I don't know if he landed wrong in his foot or whatever, but boy, what a bomb he hit out of there.
Yeah, that ball, you don't see a lot of high school kids that can turn the ball over like that.
It's like the perfect spiral.
I've been impressed with the special teams on both sides tonight. I mean, good returns, good punts.
Yeah.
They seem to be solid.
Some good. We've seen good with the punt on the other side. We've seen, obviously, Alani with a 30-yard field goal and some blast extra points. And so it's been very solid this season.
You know, and I want to clarify my position on Keith Otis playing quarterback and linebacker. I think they're using him just the way they should be.
Right.
I'm just going to let this play go.
There's a slash off the right side out over the 40, maybe to the 42-yard line.
I mean, he's a very good two-way player.
Yep.
My point just is that I just don't think he'll reach his potential as a quarterback, but I don't think they should change anything.
Right. Yeah, and again, what he is to this team, and who knows how he'll evolve as the season goes on here too as well. But in the day and age of specialties, you don't have that luxury a lot of times too if you're a mid to small size school.
It's high school football,
right.
And this is how high school football used to be played.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it'll be second down now and 5. Ball at the 42-yard line for East Pennsboro. You got to think they're going to be pretty satisfied to stick on the ground now, pretty much, especially when Gossard gets some yardage like that and gets them a first down. J.J. Gossard, another nice run for Gossard.
Yeah, Otis taking his time, really taking the play clock down to the last few seconds to snap the ball. As you would expect, up 24 points in the fourth quarter. So playing smart football here for East Pennsboro.
Otis 9 for 21 tonight for 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's had a pretty solid night, and defensively early in the game made some huge plays when they really needed it and got a couple fumbles. So he's done his job on both sides of the ball here tonight.
Yeah, part of that 9 for 21, he's thrown the ball downfield a lot.
Right. They haven't been cheap passes.
No, not at all.
Full house backfield here. There's a handoff. And the carry off the right side there by Paul Sanderson, who scored the opening touchdown of the game. Gets the carry there. They like Gossard on the run a lot. Sanderson kind of a secondary option there. But you can see they're really trying to develop that passing game a lot. East Pennsboro has never been out of command tonight. 8:37 to go in this one. Otis, second down. Gossard again, just blowing right up through the middle, down to the 35-yard line. Another good run by J.J. Gossard.
And
Gossard with 2 touchdowns in the ball game tonight.
I really like that play, bringing Breckenridge Swope in motion, because you have to account for him with the way he's been playing tonight. So, make the defense honor that a little bit and then just hit him right up the middle.
Yeah, I think East Pennsboro would be very, very pleased to run these final 35 yards in without having to put the ball in the air again to establish something here at the end of the game in the second half.
Gossard with 15 rushes for 60 yards tonight. Seems like he has more, but he's been used. He's been effective. Here he goes again, and Gossard now getting some hunks. Down to the 30-yard line is another 5 yards gain. He's slashing to about his yardage that he gains normally. By the way, don't forget, coming up at the end of the games, our Capital Blue Cross post-game report, including the Hoffman Ford Player of the Game and the Capital Region Insurance Agency Play of the Game. And also, don't forget, tomorrow night at 8:35, it'll be York High and Harrisburg High right here at York Suburban High School, part of the York Rose Bowl Kickoff Classic. And everybody looking forward to that game tomorrow night as well, 8:35. Fort Chapman will be joining me on that one.
We got the state champs coming too, the 1A state champs, Steel High as well, playing tomorrow as well.
Steel High in town tomorrow. Boy, they're an impressive bunch. Here again, just rolling forward now, and the offensive line just exerting its will, Bill.
Yeah, this is a good way to finish out the game. This is I think, perfect situation for East Pennsboro to leave the field here on a high note after not really being sharp in the second half.
John Stenison says we got a front line here that's pretty good. We're just going to roll you over here, Evan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the offensive line's been playing all well. You can't help but be pleased with the way they've played today. And Gossard is starting to hit his stride a little bit too after hitting a low starting the second half.
Evan makes a great point. That consistency tonight, that offensive line, they've been solid all evening long, except right here when obviously I put the announcer's curse on them. Said how they've gelled together. All of a sudden the whole left line sideline can collapse. I guess we can forgive them for that one error for the night, right?
Yeah, they've been clean. You get one error.
They play Palmyra next week, and it's last year they started off 3-0, beat Palmyra, beat Milton Hershey in week 3, and I know they want to take it one game at a time, but I think they want to. They'd be great for them to start 3-0 again this year.
Well, they're in that Capital Division, and that's got a great set of teams there. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can do this coming year. Last year they lost 5 games in a row in the second half, 3 by 7 points total, 2 of them in overtime.
Are they in the Capital or Colonial?
Capital, forgive me. No, they are in the Colonial, forgive me. Yeah, they're in the Colonial Division, and you look down at their schedule coming up, and you start to see some of the teams that they're going to be tackling during that time. They got Palmyra next week, then Milton Hershey, Gettysburg on the 15th. I said the 25th. The 15th when they're celebrating the 100th anniversary game. Then Greencastle, Antrim, Mechanicsburg. Then they get into Northern York. It was a great game last year. They lost in overtime to them. Shippensburg, Susquehanna Township, and Waynesboro, another team they lost to in overtime last year. So that's their schedule coming up. Otis throws to the end zone. He's got his man down there. Who is it? And it's Swope. Yep, and they found their guy, Brecken Swope, once again for another touchdown. Far corner of the end zone. They've been looking for that pass all night long and finally
they ran
up.
that play 4 or 5 times, and Otis has broken contain each time because they seal the corner so well, and he finally was able to connect.
Yeah,
he looked for the same guy every time.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Bill. Running that play a few times throughout the game, and a beautiful toe tap by Swope right there to stay in bounds and catch the ball. Really good concentration right there for the touchdown.
Well, they got a new guy in to try to kick the extra point. How about Raj Kolosia? And Kolosia, hey, got a pretty good foot there, too, and says, I can knock it down as well. How about Raj?
I like it.
37-6. East Pennsboro leads it. 5:28 to go, and this will take a timeout. We'll be right back. This is High School Sports Live review, the game of the week on Fox 43.2.
Lock it up at Hoffman Ford. Only Hoffman Ford offers 2 years maintenance included with any new 2023 Ford car, truck, or SUV order. Plus, lock in Ford's lowest APR rate today. Get 2 years maintenance included exclusively at Hoffman Ford. Why would you order from anywhere else? Who has your best deal on a new Ford?
Hoffman has it.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
Well, you talked about the schedule for the Colonial and for this team from East Pennsboro. On the other side, you've got next week, York Suburban's going to take on Donegal, and then York Catholic, West York, New Oxford, Dover, Susquehanna, Kennerdale, Eastern York, and Northeastern. So, as you said, it's going to be interesting to see this team progress forward. And now in a new era, past Mikey Bedavania, and trying to find some new faces. And I think they found a couple tonight. They had a few answers, and spotty passing game, but one that has potential. And then C.J. Rissmiller looks like a guy that you can go to regular and often there, Evan.
Yeah, he's been very impressive tonight on both sides of the ball. Running the ball well, and Taza Sweeney as well has made some big plays.
There's something you want to see less of next week as the ball is taken there by Lubadika, and that's been dropped way too often tonight there on kickoffs.
Yeah, that's something they'll need to address, and it's just a matter of focus sometimes.
If you had any questions tonight and you were John Denniston on the East Pennsboro side, Dakota Campbell last year was kind of their all-everything. He was a great punter. He was a 4-year starter. He was an outstanding quarterback. We saw him against Northern last year. He put on an unbelievable show. He's now at Kutztown playing this year for the Golden Bears. So,
well, look, East Penn's going to have to be good because the Colonial Division has gotten really good. A couple years ago, Mechanicsburg dropped down from the Keystone Division.
Right.
Susquehanna Township dropped down from the Keystone Division.
You got Gettysburg moving in there.
Gettysburg moved over from the York Adams League.
Right.
So you're taking 3 pretty solid programs over their history that meshed into the Colonial Division, and it's a landmine. I mean, every week you've got to be ready to play. Even the Waynesboros can jump up and put a hurting in there.
J.J. Gossett tonight, we were talking about him a little bit. 18 rushes for 84 yards this evening. He's been economical tonight, and of course 2 touchdowns as well. So the spread of the wealth here this evening for East Pennsboro. Again, another drop.
Now that was just a snap where the quarterback wasn't, I think the center snapped the ball prematurely because the quarterback was not ready for him.
Yeah, Ryland Bratton just never was ready for that ball at all.
So
we're up 3rd down now.
Now miscommunication right there.
Last year, York Suburban lost to East Pennsboro, and they went over week 2 and beat Donegal.
Right.
And Donegal was a playoff team last year. as York Suburban was. Donegal has a new coach this year, Anthony Sadasante, who had coached at Columbia previously, and then Tussey Mountain and Mount Union, and now he's back in the area. He played for Donegal.
And Josh Fry has shown he knows what he's doing. There's another fumble. Picks it up, and Chris Miller says, okay, I'll just keep on going forward here and get it back down to the original line of scrimmage.
And you have some younger guys in now for East Pennsboro, so there wasn't quite the penetration that we had been seeing earlier. If there was, it might have been another turnover.
Tell you what, Chris Miller is some kind of quick.
Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see how his season goes. Their schedule as they move on will not be the teams won't be as physical as East Pennsboro is.
Yeah, and you mentioned that right at the top of the show tonight, how physical looking East Pennsboro looks bigger, and because they are bigger. Yeah. You just see them, and it's not just the white uniforms either.
They just seem to fit. Their uniforms fit well.
Here you got a pickup right here, near side. It's going to be Trey Good, and getting the ball back down to the 40, and then a little help from his friends down to the 38.
You know, I mentioned it earlier. The Trojans have really played with a lot of effort and energy tonight. I just think their ball security is going to be the number one thing going into practice next week for sure for Coach to work on.
I think they have a good quarterback. They have a good running back. Their offensive line, I'm not sure how good it is. They have returning starters, and they have good size. Maybe East Pennsboro is just too much of a match for them in week one. Their defense played pretty well.
Yeah.
So there are some things, despite losing by 31 points here, there are some things that as a head coach, I can go into and say, hey, not as bad as it looked.
Well, the quickness on that offensive line tonight is what I've been impressed about with East Pennsboro. They've had their way of the quickness, and I thought that was the deciding factor right there.
They're just a more polished team right now.
Right.
You can tell that their kids have played together for a while. They're a little more confident. And let's face it, they got off to a good start.
Right.
It doesn't hurt.
There's the sophomore in Elliott Broom with his first carry of the night, a new uniform, not wearing number 4. For East Pennsboro, so getting some new uniforms in there with 2:27 to go. And
yeah, it looks like Keith Otis's night is done, and couldn't have asked for a better start.
Here's the pitch back again, this time to Elliott Broom, and Broom slashing his way off the right side. You're going to get a flag up. Is it going to be a hold? Let's wait and see. Oh, personal foul, face mask. So that's going to add on. So you're getting some new uniforms, some new players in the game here. I want to thank Ron Corsi for his hospitality here tonight in the York Rose Bowl Kickoff Classic. Ron moving over from Chambersburg.
So you always run into an interesting situation here. It's 37-6. You have your younger kids in. You'd like to be able to have them run plays, but you could also take a knee 3 times and run the clock out.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess they're going to let them run the plays, which I have no heartburn with.
Yeah, it's week one. So definitely want to get them to work.
On notice tonight, 10 for 23, 213 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 touchdown rushing, 1 interception. And so here you're just satisfied to run the football right now, get a first down, move it into second down, and see what you can do.
Yeah, now, if they score, they score, and that's fine. I see no need to rush. You can let the clock run down.
Right. 1:39 to go and ticking, and no rush here at all. John Dennison saying, okay, we've got the numbers we need. Game's over.
Yeah, solid effort from East Pennsboro tonight. Definitely how you want to open up the season, coming here with a solid victory. Holding them to 6 points, that's something to hang your hat on too as well.
Coming up after the game, the Capital Blue Cross post-game report, including our Hoffman Ford player of the game and our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. As streaming forward down near the 10-yard line comes East Pennsboro.
And I would say the 2 things I'd like to see East Pennsboro improve is a little more consistency on the running game, trying to chunk 4 or 5 yards at a time. They were stopped numerous times.
Yeah.
And a little high percentage on the passing game.
Absolutely.
I think there were some receivers open.
Yeah.
I like their receivers.
Yeah.
I really like their receivers.
They can make plays for sure.
And I think the receivers are just going to get better and better. They know how to run the routes. They know how to get open. It's a long count, inside handoff. Trying to strip it away there and knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
And that should allow them to run the clock.
Absolutely.
That was Leonardo Gonzalez with the tackle there up front.
It's always nice when you get some young guys into the varsity game.
Yeah, some guys may be their first time on varsity. You never know. So, never know when you might need them as well. So, depth, very, very key in the high school game.
Generally means you're winning by a lot, or on the other end, you're losing by a lot.
Well, the second game of the York Rose Bowl is now just about history, and that will do it. 37-6, East Pennsboro comes to York Suburban and wins here in their opening game of the season. We're going to come back right after this with our Capital Blue Cross post-game report, including the Hoffman Ford Player of the Game, our Capital Region Insurance Agency Play of the Game, and more. Right here on High School Sports Live TV, it's Fox 43.2. Back with more right after this.
So a while back, I thought to myself, I'm never going to own a home. I'm going to have to rent forever. I didn't have money for a down payment. I had no credit history, and I just got out of a divorce. But PHFA showed me that home ownership is possible. They offer me a low-interest mortgage and a way to manage the closing cost. To me, this is more than just my home. It's a huge accomplishment and a new chapter in my life, thanks to PHFA.
Where were you last night? Do you know how embarrassing that was for me? No. Don't deflect. Well, that wasn't passive-aggressive. Listen, I just need to know that I can trust you're going to be there when I need you. Hello? Our money just hung up on me.
Not cool.
Track your spending with our personal finance tool. Just another way to have better conversations with your money from F&M Trust.
Everybody knows Hoffman has it. Did you know Hoffman has even more? There's the fully stocked Hoffman Ford Parts and Accessories Department, the Hoffman state-of-the-art collision facility, confidence in our ultra-modern service facility, peace of mind with master technicians, satisfaction with low prices.
Do I really need to say it again? Hoffman has it.
Only at Hoffman Ford, Colonial Park.
Hoffman Ford, just what you're looking for. Hoffman has it.
More choices, more laughter, more time to play, and less need to worry. At Capital Blue Cross, we're driven by a simple goal: to go the extra mile for you through all of life's ups and downs, and to always be there when you need us. Capital Blue Cross, going the extra mile for you.
In the dynamic world of construction, Groff Tractor and Equipment stands as your trusted John Deere and Workin' dealer. With our extensive range of construction sales and rentals, we provide the equipment you need to tackle any project. But our commitment doesn't stop there. Our comprehensive parts and service departments are there to make sure your equipment is operating at its best, minimizing downtime and maximizing productivity. Our dedicated technicians ensure your equipment operates at peak performance. Our technician internship opportunities provide a pathway to a successful career. Learn from skilled professionals and grow with us. Trust, reliability, and exceptional service. That's Groff Tractor and Equipment. Stop by, give us a call, or visit our website today for more information. Groff Tractor and Equipment, your #1 source for everything under construction.
And welcome back to York Suburban High School. 37-6, East Penn beats York Suburban here tonight to go 1-0, and York Suburban obviously with their first loss of the season. And welcome back to our Capital Blue Cross post-game report. Gary Sutton with you alongside of Bill Chase and Evan Brooks here tonight. And it was an interesting game. Running out to like a 30-0 lead here is East Pennsboro. I don't think York Suburban knew what hit them. They had a lot of fumbles, 5 fumbles as we talked about earlier, Bill. But then York Suburban showed a little bit of promise there a little bit later on, a weird touchdown. But never out of control tonight was East Pennsboro.
No, and just looking across, there are going to be 200 happy teams tonight. There are going to be 200 sad teams tonight. It's a first game, and you and I talked before the game. Winning the first game is a big deal. It moves you towards a winning season, and York Suburban has to regroup. I think they did it last year. I think they can do it again this year. There are some bright spots on the team. I like the quarterback. I like the running back, and we'll see if their line can mesh a little bit and protect protect Bratton at quarterback.
Evan, for the Colonial Conference of the Mid-Penn, they're going to be seeing a team here that's pretty mature. Showed a lot of good poise here tonight. Was particularly impressed with the offensive line for this East Pennsboro team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they protected well. They created big holes for the running back all night long. The quarterback, Keith Oates, had a bunch of time to throw and find his receivers, and the running backs picked their holes well. So you lean on your offensive line. That's a big part of the high school game, especially when you can just impose your will on the other team. So I was impressed with them.
Otis did a good job tonight there at the quarterback spot, and as you said, also playing linebacker. Made some big plays early, including covering up a fumble. Our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game tonight. Let's take a look at that first of all. And I'm not sure what Chad Edwards came up with here, but let's take a look. Here you see Otis going back.
Yeah, this is that little swing pass.
This is J.J. Gossard, who was just dynamic all night long. 18 rushes for 78 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and this 44-yarder was a beauty.
Very impressive. Good soft hands and making plays in the open field.
Take a look again from a different angle. Here's Gossard out here. I thought Otis did a great job of selling that and then just pitching out and let Gossard do the rest of the work. And, man, he knows what he's doing. He's been outstanding since the second half of last season, averaging 5.3 yards a carry, and was not a disappointment here at all tonight. That is our Capital Region Insurance Agency play of the game. And now our Hoffman Ford player of the game, well, you can go back to the same film. J.J. Gossard, 18 rushes tonight for 78 yards, a couple of touchdowns. And take a look. He can run hard, too. How about that? Just slashing it into the end zone for the first touchdown, the second touchdown of the game, rather. And you can see he runs with a lot of excitement. And then we see that play one last time where break one tackle, two tackles. How about three? Or maybe even, I don't know. Not a fourth. He didn't have to. He outran him in all the way to the end zone. And J.J. Gossard with an outstanding night here for the East Pennsboro Panthers, who now serve notice that they are a force to be reckoned with in the Colonial. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we're going to have York and Harrisburg High right here on Fox 43.2. It is the big game tomorrow night here in the Rose Bowl, and it'll be at 8:35 will be our starting time. It's 8:35. But you can go to our website at www.hsslivetv.com for our full game schedule for the 2023 High School Sports Live broadcast schedule. I want to thank Chad Edwards and a great crew from Invicta Incorporated tonight. Fox 43 Sports, Travis Sparks, our stat guy. Of course, Bill Chase, coach here tonight. And Evan Brooks for joining us here tonight. We're going to see Evan throughout the course of the season. You'll see him also in Football Frenzy on Fox, where they do that every week at 11:30. And you'll have everything that is worth anything as far as football here in the area. And once again tonight, it is 37-6. East Pennsboro wins it. Thanks so much for watching this week's High School Sports Live broadcast. See you tomorrow night. York High and Harrisburg High at 8:35, all here on Fox 43.2.